Here we are.
Here we are.
Snarf Talk Studios is live and kicking.
About an hour later than we intended.
Yeah, but it's a Friday night, and I got nothing to do besides.
Friday night, the mood is right.
Yeah,
I ain't got
no job. I ain't got no money. I got shit to do.
Were you a fan of TGIF?
Absolutely.
What was your favorite part of it? So there's Full House. We had Boy Meet World. We had Family Matters.
That's what I was thinking of as Family Matters. There was a lot of things added
Step by Step.
Yeah, all of those shows.
Step by step.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Day by day.
Something may come in.
It's fresh start over, different every day.
Yeah, you know it way better than I do.
That's not even right, but it's close.
I loved the whole idea of TGIF. Like, I was excited about it being a Friday, first of all, and then the fact that there were so many shows that we could just sit. I would lay on the floor usually because I was the youngest and everybody else took all of our furniture. Yeah. So I would sit in a laundry basket with a pillow.
That sounds about right.
I'm not joking.
I'm not.
I would sit in a laundry basket with a pillow all the time, or a box, or I'd just lay on the floor. But I just was excited to watch these shows, any of the shows. And that, it sounds old, like you sound like an old person, or our parents, it reminds me of sounding like my parents when you say, well, the way you watch TV is different now. We could only watch the shows that were on at the time. But it's true. We only had the shows that were playing at the time.
There's no pausing.
No pausing, no streaming, none of this stuff. And it baffles me that I've allowed my children to get to a point where they're just when we watch actual TV, because I have an antenna, and we'll put the antenna on. And they're like, where's the show? Well, this is a commercial. You have to watch the commercial. We'll skip it. You can't.
We watched
it's regular TV.
Family Feud before I came here tonight when we were eating dinner.
Yeah.
And I didn't have it recorded. So we were watching commercials, and I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah, I know. What are we, cavemen?
David sent in a few others. Dinosaurs.
Oh, Dinosaurs. I used to watch all the time.
Love that one. My Brother's Keeper.
I don't know that.
And then he put another one in, but he must have deleted it because it's gone. I don't remember what it was.
I've never even heard of My Brother's Keeper.
I liked Dinosaurs, but my favorite probably was
I'm the baby.
Family Matters.
I loved Family Matters.
It's probably my favorite.
Loved it a lot. I do remember Dinosaurs big time. That was probably my favorite at the time when Dinosaurs was out because it was like Roseanne.
Yeah, I don't know
but
that I
as
was
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I don't know. I have it on DVD for some reason. I have no idea why.
Yeah, why?
I have the whole series on DVD. I've had it for 15 years.
Really?
I liked Step by Step too. That was a good one.
Step by Step was very good.
I liked all of them. I really did enjoy them all. I liked Full House.
I agree. Did you watch the new Full House?
No, I was thinking about flipping it on with the kids the other day, but I heard terrible things about it.
Yeah, I've never
horrible things. Not that
what
it's
about,
bad quality. The topic matters. There's child sex trafficking and all kinds of terrible things happening.
What?
Yeah, it's deep. It's dark. I heard it's like the Breaking Bad of family television.
Well, that's ridiculous that they would even go that route. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
It's not.
Okay, I was going to say because I don't know anything about it. But
8 Simple Rules. See, I feel like that was a little bit after.
That was way after. David, we were 15 when that came out.
Wasn't that the first? Wasn't that Kaylee Cuoco?
Cuoco?
Wasn't she in that?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think she was. I think she was a teenager in that. When she was a kid, she was in that show.
Yeah.
Not a kid, but she was a
8 Simple Rules. Was that with
8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter is what it was called. I think John Ritter.
Yes, John Ritter was the dad, and she was the daughter.
And he died in that show, during that show.
Yeah.
Not in the show.
No, I understand what you meant. During the production.
Wouldn't that be weird?
That'd be really weird. They probably don't air that one anymore.
Yeah. So anyway. I love that show. It's the
John
must-see
Ritter,
TV.
Kaylee Cuoco. That's what David said. Of course,
the must-see TV. They had must-see Thursday night TV, but this was more family friendly. Mm-hmm. We watched Seinfeld and Friends when I was younger. However, they weren't kid appropriate. I've watched.
No, they weren't.
Seinfeld. Well, definitely not kid appropriate, but somehow it works. If you rewatch Friends, which I don't recommend, I didn't like it to begin with, and it's even worse now.
I was never a fan of it either. It's one of Amy's most favorite shows. Like all of the girls that I went to high school with, it is basically their favorite show.
Everybody, yeah, and it's not good. A and B, this is not family friendly.
I think it has a place, just not with me.
Could it be any more ridiculous?
Yes, it could. I think
they wrote John Ritter's death into the show. Interesting. After Ritter died, David Spade came on. I love David Spade.
Man, you are really into this.
He knows all about it.
Show. What about? Have you seen any of the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
It's not. I went to watch it on HBO.
Yeah,
and it's just like a documentary. It's like the cast getting back together just to talk about the show.
It is.
I don't.
No, I thought they had episodes.
I watched
of a new show.
I don't think so, unless I didn't find them. But the main thing you click on HBO and go watch for that is it's like a behind the scenes. Like the whole cast comes out. They talk about the show and what went on. Seriously.
Well, on a
maybe at the end of it, because I did fall asleep halfway
Kevin
through.
Smith podcast, he was saying I got into an episode thinking it was going to be really cringy. He's like, but it wasn't. They all came together really well.
Why would it be cringy? There's
because
some
of how
drama,
old they are.
Whatever. No, I'm telling you, I didn't see that part. Maybe it's at the end. Maybe I just watched like the first 2 hours is that, and then there's a show after it. But I
don't know.
Maybe I need to rewatch it.
I wasn't aware of any of the documentary. I thought they came out with a season.
It was interesting what I watched. I mean, it's like Will Smith is like magnetic.
He really is.
It's like impossible.
He really is.
You can't take your eyes off of him.
I know. I literally just stare at pictures of Will Smith all day.
I have a poster.
I carry one around in my wallet, and I just, man. It's a magnetic wallet too, actually.
Magnetic. Oh.
Only because Will Smith is in it. So it holds my money in with Will Smith's face.
With his charisma.
Just that's what holds my money in. And I just stare at him like, man, remember when you were in Fresh Prince? He's like, yeah, I remember that.
It was a good show. I loved that show. Was that on TGIF? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No. I thought that was like a Fox 32 show.
I don't remember, but I don't think it was on. It definitely wasn't on TGIF.
No.
So, little heads up before we get any deeper into this whole evening. We are doing
a lot of things.
2 big things tonight.
Yeah.
One thing. In addition to the news and what we're watching, which there's some good stuff there, we are doing top 10 breakfast foods.
Breakfast foods.
So that will be coming up later on in the episode.
Do you know how substantial that is? Like, breakfast foods run my life. I would eat breakfast all day long. It's not considered breakfast once it's later, but the food itself is a breakfast type food.
What about breakfast versus brunch?
I've never understood brunch because at a brunch, I've only eaten breakfast foods.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've never done
different foods.
I've never done like a formal brunch.
Oh.
I guess.
Well,
I mean, I've been at Seed and Tops for Friendsgiving or Drinksgiving, whatever you want to call it, and I would consider that like a brunch, but most of it is just breakfast food.
A brunch is usually like there's specific things, like on a brunch.
Really?
Yeah, they'll
Like
usually
what?
be like breakfast foods.
Yeah.
But then there'll also be like a carving station with like prime rib or like some kind of.
So it's just a buffet.
Yeah, it can be a buffet, but it doesn't have to be a buffet. But a lot of times it is.
So it's a buffet.
Not
It's just
always,
like
though. I mean, you can go
always
out for
open.
brunch to a restaurant that will have, and it'll have a brunch menu that will have like a hybrid mix of breakfast and lunch items. But sometimes
I've never been to these
they like
places.
dance together. You know, you get like a lunchy breakfast thing or like
Yeah.
a breakfasty lunch thing,
Like vinegar beans and
like Heinz beans.
Heinz beans from a brunch.
Heinz beans. If you want beans, you're in luck. We got Heinz.
Because that's all we have in this can. That's all that's in this can.
Call back. It's a good old Heinz beans. That was a good beginning of an episode.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Wait. Okay, so we're done with the brunch. Yes, we're going to talk about top 10 breakfast foods and all that. Then after that, we have, or no, probably before that, we're going to do our picture winner?
Oh, we're going to do that right now.
Oh, we're going to do it right now?
Yeah, after like one short advertisement.
Oh, all right.
We have a sponsor this week.
Do we?
Very quickly, but we have a sponsor.
All right.
And I don't know the name of his business, per se.
Right. I don't know the name of it either. I guess I should have looked that up.
If you're listening...
Where did I put my
David
phone?
said, by the way... Oh, Erica said, only difference is booze. There is booze at brunch.
Okay, yeah, like mimosas.
And then David, he should know the answer to this question. Brunch is whatever can be thrown together with leftovers from Thursday through Saturday nights. Okay, that's not right. Don't listen to that.
I don't know.
Advertisement. One, David Timmons. If you're listening to this,
Yes.
you probably know David Timmons.
Most people do.
He's a Renaissance man.
He is.
A bit.
Yes.
He
Jack of all
has
trades.
a new business that we are promoting. He has compensated us in product.
He has. We both have received a large cup.
A chalice, if you want. No. It's a
No,
Yeti.
it's a Yeti 32-ounce
Yeah.
mug.
So he's doing, what is it called? Ceramicoat?
It's Cerakote.
Cerakote.
So it is a ceramic type coating that you bake onto things.
Yeah.
And he is doing that for a gamut of products, putting it on everything.
Metal.
And he decided to do cups for us in a Snarf Talk fashion. I didn't bring mine tonight. I guess I should have.
I have mine, but it's
Yours?
over there somewhere.
I can get it.
Uh-oh, Jerry, you screwed something up.
I didn't screw anything up.
Okay.
This is the cup. It's you see the Snarf Talk emblem, the goat there. His is done as like a
It's
what
like
was it?
worn, like rusty metal,
Yeah, like in an apocalypse of sorts.
Fallout type theme.
Yeah, like this was left over in a nuclear war.
Yeah, Jerry's
picked
was
it up
like a Joker themed one. So it has the logo on one side, it says Snarf Talk, and the other it's like purple and green splattered.
Yeah.
Neon.
It's like a Jack Nicholson Joker,
Yeah.
to be specific, that type of color. So the bright purple, the bright green, oozy type stuff, and it says Snarf Talk with the goat on it. Very nice stuff. So
Anyway, he will do that for you. He's doing this as a business. He does a lot of his main thing is guns. So if you got a gun and you want to get like the U.S. flag, like the stars and stripes on there, baked on there, it's like once it's on there,
it's there.
It's like forever.
Yeah, you can't get it off. It's part of the
You
cup.
can't even scratch it.
No. So it's awesome. I think it's awesome stuff. It's been around for a while, but he just started doing it, and it's great.
Or if you need like cool things for your business, or if like, for example, you had like a show pig business.
Yeah, if anybody had
and you
those.
wanted like a cool Christmas present
Yeah.
to give to your favorite podcasters.
Yeah, you could send
But
something
with your
to him.
own logo on it.
You could send something to Timmons. He would do that for you, and then you could give it to your favorite podcast of all time.
Yeah, and you could do it with even the Ozark Trail $5 cups. You don't have to buy Yetis.
No,
I told him not to use Yetis, but he's like, dude, it's a Yeti.
Yeah, he wanted to use whatever he wanted to use. We didn't tell him anything. He just did this on his own. So
anyway, that's our ad, and we're sticking to it. So, Snarf Talk coloring contest. The results are in.
they are in. They
We had
have
a
been
ton
sent
of
in
entries. We had a bunch of people that didn't get done. So sorry. I mean, we extended it like 5 times. I don't know what to tell you.
We sent messages out. It is what it is. The time has come to an end now. And the entries that we did get were all very good. Some took it more seriously than others, I would say. And obviously the winners definitely did. We're going to do a 1 through...
We're just going to do the top 4.
Basically,
The top 4. If you're in the top 4, you're going to get something.
Yes.
The grand prize is only going to the number 1.
Correct.
And it's big time. And the other 3 are going to get like small things.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in a minute. Continue.
And then we have the first and second place people here we can kind of show you.
Yeah, we've got the actual physical copy for the first and second place.
So number 4, Jerry.
Number 4 is
Awarded prize goes out, or
a soon-to-be mentioned prize.
yeah, it might just be a sticker, but
Yeah, probably.
goes to
Sarah Punky. Woo!
good job.
We all know the Punkies. They live in Morris. Sarah did a very good job with hers. We enjoyed it very much.
It was close. I really like that she used crayon.
Yes, she was the only one that did crayon.
Yeah, and it worked.
It worked very well. And she took the time to figure out, and she had texted me this. She's like, I took the time to figure out what your guys' eye colors were, like the look of your hats, the look of everything about us. She took the time to do that, and that's what I liked.
Yeah, she put a ton of work in, and we'll get rewarded with almost nothing.
Right. So we appreciate all of the work you put into this, though. It looked very, very good.
Number 3 goes out to Mr.
Ian Hicks.
Mr. Ian Hicks.
He's always on top of our prize lists.
Yeah.
He puts a lot of effort into our stuff, like Snarf Madness.
He's also not going to get rewarded for all of his effort in that big of a way with a 3rd place win, but the reward is the act of creativity.
100%. And honestly,
I think he even mentioned that to us.
He did. And to be honest, when I opened his entry for the first time after he sent it to us, I clicked on the image, opened it up, and I was shook.
Yeah.
My bones shook. I was astonished that he could color this well.
Yeah.
And he was the only one that used a marker.
Yes.
So his is a little bit different than everyone else's because he used a marker. So I feel like the color in his pops big time. It brought our characters out more so than the background, but he also did the background in a certain shade of color that we really enjoyed.
The things that stood out to me was I liked he did the green behind the goat.
Yeah.
And he outlined it, the little things like outlining the goat in the yellow and the green and the blue contrast.
Right.
And the shades of those green and blue in particular popped really well. So
yeah. And our coat, like our uniforms were like a burnt orange type color.
Yeah.
And we just stood out so well. I really enjoyed it. It was very good.
I liked the cohesive theme too. Like as far as the background coloring, like a lot of people did different things, which is fine, but it was very realistic.
Yes.
In his color theme.
So he also so places 1 and 2.
And we'll put these on Facebook too.
Yeah, we'll get them up there. Places 1 and 2, they added little things to theirs.
Dave. Lots of work and no reward, much like being married to Doug.
Sorry, Sarah. That's funny. But Ian added a little things like patches to our shoulders, name tags, things to our hats. He started adding that, and then from there, like the 2nd place and 1st place did the same things, but
elevated.
added even more.
So we'll go to our number 2. And I mean, you guys, if you were in this contest and bummed you didn't win, you're going to see the amount of work that got put into 1 and 2. And this was a husband and wife combination.
It is. So this is not, there's no foul play here. It is a husband and wife combination, but they put some effort into this. They must have had a coloring night with each other and had a competition between themselves, because I guarantee you they have a competition right now to see whose is better than whose.
Yeah, and so that drum roll, you guys will figure this out. Number 2 is Heather.
Heather Jenkins. Look at this. Bring it up a little bit.
No, it's right in frame.
Bring it up a little bit. You can't see me at all. It's like I'm Mike Wazowski.
I'm gonna move it around.
Mike Wazowski getting blocked out by.
All right, there we go. So there's the goat.
It's very good. Here's what I've noticed right away. I noticed my hat immediately says, "I love sausage." Where that came from, I don't know. But if you look at Chris's name tag says sausage. So I apparently am in love with Chris.
Some of the things that we really liked about this one were, I liked, again, the blue goat with the green background. 2 people did that.
I know,
so that
it pops out really good.
Little details, like bloodshot eyes on the goat. I don't know what that signifies, but I liked it.
Yep.
And the coloring is just really, really, really well done.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of detail in it. So we can go to our 1st place.
First place.
No surprise.
Snarf Talk coloring contest.
Alex. Mr. Alex Jenkins.
This is the 2nd contest he's won. He won Snarf Madness one year. Well, I guess it was Alex and Heather both together. But do you see the patches on our shoulders with the goat?
He put patches on the shoulders with a crossed out goat, like I ain't afraid of no goats.
Yeah.
First off,
Our name tags.
the name tags in our logo coloring, and he'd made our hats, the actual hats that we wear on the show.
I wear this same hat every single day, so a lot of people it wouldn't be a surprise to, but that was the only one that had that on there.
And I like the little detail he did around the goat with like the energy beams.
The plasma.
And it's just a really cohesively done.
The background is all the
well-themed.
same. If you look at the background all through the whole entire picture, in between the legs, behind the backs, it's the same, and it looks very good.
So our big winner is Alex. He will be winning. What are we getting him? He's gets like $100
$100 Amazon gift card. They're getting a sweatshirt, and there was something else. A sweatshirt, and was it a T-shirt too?
I don't remember. We'll look it back up, but something like that.
But I know it's a $100 Amazon gift card is the big prize with a sweatshirt for sure.
So seriously, awesome work.
Yeah, thanks for participating. We love it. That picture right there will be framed, hanging in the studio.
Yes, forever.
Forever. We're gonna have to
Forever
hang
and
it.
always. When you say forever and always, and it rains in the...
I don't know that song.
It's Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I don't know her. Who is that girl?
I love that album. It's like her first album.
Is it?
Yeah, she's got that. She's got a bunch of good hits on it. Sometimes I just play it really loud when
Has
I
she-
drive home from the podcast, and I just sing.
Yeah, hits you right in the
But
feels.
her new album's dog shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know any of her stuff. And did you watch the? We've talked about it before.
I did
Did you
watch
watch
it.
that? It's awful.
Frustratingly terrible.
It's so aggravating. So aggravating.
All right, so where are we headed now with our journey of
Well, I got one more
sorts?
comment to read real quick about brunch. David puts on there, Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain said, brunch is nothing but a horrible, cynical way of unloading leftovers and charging 3 times as much as you normally charge for breakfast.
I mean, I don't know, maybe. I enjoy a brunch.
Seems right.
I enjoy a brunch.
I don't know if I've ever done a real brunch. I don't think it's a thing.
You know, I prefer just breakfast with booze.
You can
A
do
little
that.
later
That's
in the
like,
morning.
You can have a Bloody Mary with breakfast.
I don't like Bloody Marys.
That's silly.
No, but I'll drink a mimosa all day long.
How do you not like a Bloody Mary? It's a tomato thing,
I
isn't
don't
it?
like tomato juice or clamato or whatever.
There's something wrong with you. I think you've got a brain worm from one of them trips to Africa or Mexico. You got a worm. You got a parasite or something in your brain.
I don't know. I just don't like it. Can't help it.
Have you ever noticed you twitch too?
Sometimes, yeah.
You have that twitch?
Are you making fun of me?
No, I'm telling you. That
Sounds like you're making fun of
That's
a
a sure
disability.
sign of a brain parasite.
Like those ants. Have
What
you ever heard
ants?
about those ants? There's a fungus. I think it's a fungus.
Oh yeah, that takes over the ant.
It gets inside their brain and controls their movement and like takes them to wherever they need to go to like propagate themselves.
Yeah.
And then it kills them and then it like sprouts out of their head.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty good. It's
Fungi.
really reminds me. I think what you have though is the same thing that was in Men in Black, where the guy's head opens up and it's that little itty bitty creature that's like controlling the guy.
Yeah.
I'm positive that's you.
Or like Ratatouille.
No,
Ratatouille.
he's just in his hat.
Pulling his hair.
Right.
Makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Love that movie though. It's good.
I do too. It's my favorite Pixar movie.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. We did top 10 Pixar if you want to listen back.
Yeah, that's where I've got chastised.
I read
so
this
much.
article the other day and it was going on about how Pixar has ruined their kids' like expectations for movies, and now they can't go back and watch classic cinematic movies because Pixar movies are so good and like
Right.
so jam packed with jokes and emotions that they can't sit through like The Sound of Music or Charlie and the
all
Chocolate
those
Factory,
boring movies.
because they don't have enough packed into them because their attention spans are too short. I get what they're saying, but at the same time, like a lot of those old movies I never even liked when I was a kid or an adult.
Yeah, right.
And just because Pixar
times
movies
change.
are better doesn't mean they're bad. That's like a good thing.
It also doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't mean that the older movies are bad. If you enjoyed those movies when you were old, or when you were younger, that was fine.
David's
But
right. The Good Dinosaur still sucks, though. He's right.
It's really
Jet,
like it.
my son Jet, is obsessed with The Good Dinosaur. It's all he wants to watch.
Oh, really?
All the time.
Do you not like your kid?
Yeah, I like my kid. I don't like a good dinosaur though. I don't like Arlo.
Have you?
Arlo.
Have you just belittled him and told him how terrible of a choice of movie it is?
Yeah, I sit him down. He's 3.
Yeah.
And I'm like, explain to him why he's got poor taste.
I enjoyed it. The only reason I've enjoyed it so much is because of the Western styled dinosaurs that are running around like they're riding a horse. I think that's awesome. It's Sam Elliott, and he's like this big T-Rex, but he runs like he's riding a horse. Have you ever seen those competitions of like people riding stick horses?
Like Monty Python, but, well, there's not a stick horse, but yeah.
No, but in real life, they have competitions where it's, I think they call them hobby horse competitions or something, but it's like where you have the head of a horse on a stick and you ride it. And I've only seen videos of young girls doing this, like young women are riding around in an arena that is set up just like a horse arena where you jump over those little rails and stuff. And they do that.
Sounds amazing.
And they get scored.
Sounds like something we would do in college, but drinking wise.
Right. Except these are like anywhere from like 9 to 13-year-old girls that are doing it in a competition.
Okay.
Look it up.
I will.
I think you should. I think everybody should.
All right. Before we get into our much anticipated breakfast discussion, which I very anticipated for a long time, people have been asking us to do this.
Yeah, they have been.
And it's going to be.
And you weren't real excited about it.
I wasn't.
You're like, meh. I don't really want to do that.
I feel like it's going to be controversial.
And you were talked into it, and now you're excited.
I am kind of.
Because you've called yourself what? A breakfast connoisseur?
Yeah.
And yet you didn't want to do a top 10 breakfast?
I just didn't think there was like enough of a reason to.
Meat and potatoes?
I don't know.
Eggs and bacon?
I guess I felt like everybody would kind of have the same things. So it'd be just basically everybody talking about the same 10 things, and it's not that exciting.
I see what you mean.
But once I started doing a list, I realized there's a lot of variability in it. Not a lot, but there's some variability in it.
And let's talk about the way we're going to do it. So we're not just talking about breakfast ingredients, let's say, like one thing. Like we can't just say eggs.
Right.
Like, of course, yes, eggs are going to be on the list, but it's going to be a breakfast, a meal.
It has to be a dish.
Yeah.
If you will.
Right. Which there are things that are singular that can be a dish, but
Tony said, there's your human horse riding link. Good luck. Oh, he's got a YouTube video. Check it out in the comments.
Yeah. It is hobby horse.
Annual hobby horse competition. I'm intrigued. I feel like we could do this as an event for Snarf Talk.
I guarantee you we could.
And there could be a lot of booze.
Yep.
We could have like a mini rodeo, but it's all human.
All hobby horse stuff.
Human rodeo. But we need like 6 hours of drinking before the rodeo starts.
Deal.
I'm in. We'll do it in Mazan.
June 23rd. Yeah. Hobby horse competition. Snarf Talk.
Rodeo.
Snarf Talk hobby horse rodeo.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to do barrel racing with the hobby horses. We're going to do rope and calves. But
bull
the
riding?
calves are going to be people also on cow hobby horses.
Yes.
And then you got to rope them.
Okay.
And we might get some,
I think that's a great idea. And then we have to have bull riding.
And we'll do it live, be the announcers live on YouTube. And
yeah. But I want to compete.
I mean, you can't compete and be the star of the show.
I want to be a rodeo clown.
You could do that.
Because those bulls and stuff can get out of control. And you got to rein them in, so they don't hurt the contestants.
I'm in. This sounds great.
It really does. Yes.
Hobby horse rodeo.
Hobby horse rodeo.
Snarf first annual.
Riding goats. Nolan Green just said riding goats. I think that's a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. Kids do it, though.
I used to ride a goat. When I had goats, I rode Mama Goat. I called her Mama Goat because she was the mother of basically all the goats I had. And I used to ride her all the time.
Or it's sheep that kids ride at a rodeo, right? Like sometimes there's sheep riding, right?
I don't know.
They got like little kids. They either do. I think it's sheep. They ride around on sheep.
Sheep are the worst.
They're the worst. Worst animals ever.
They really are. They just either
we should rank farm animals, and if we did that, sheep wouldn't be in the top 10.
They prolapse all the time. That's the problem with sheep. constantly prolapsing.
Rodeo good stuff. My friend, national champ bareback.
Bareback riding.
He's got a he's got a national championship bareback rider friend. That's awesome.
Yeah, apparently.
Better get Sheedy to call your attorney. I mean, Sheedy is also our attorney.
He is also the attorney.
Mutton busting, David said. So it is a thing.
That's what it is. Yeah. Mutton busting, that's what it's called.
We could do some mutton busting.
I think I've mutton busted before. I think I have.
Yeah. But Sheedy is not only our producer, he's also our official attorney, Michael Sheedy.
Correct.
Esquire.
Thank you for all you do for us.
All right. A little bit of news before we get into our
so
top 10.
This, you know how that whole Mike Tyson thing happened the last weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Have you looked into this at all?
No, not at all.
I did. I wanted to know outcomes. I wanted to know how the fight went. So first off, there was Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson. Mm-hmm. Nate Robinson is a basketball player. He was on the Chicago Bulls for a while. Everybody during the Derrick Rose era, and Nate Robinson was pretty good. He was on a lot of different teams. Pretty good. Kind of a shorter guy for the NBA. He's only 5'9". And now all of a sudden he decided he wanted to be a fighter and has been training. And Jake Paul is a YouTube person, influencer, if you will.
Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
Well, there's two of them.
Okay. They're both boxers.
Yes. Jake Paul was in this fight.
They're YouTube people, but they're like Logan
brothers.
Paul's legit. I've seen some videos of him fighting.
Yeah. This was one of them. I think it was Jake. I think it was Jake Paul, but it was either Jake or Logan Paul. But they're brothers. They're basically hand in hand the same person. They fought, right? And it went, the first round didn't do anything. Second round, there's a lot of hugging involved. Yeah. A lot of really bad punches.
A lot of like that in boxing.
And then there's been so many memes put up of this, but Nate Robinson got knocked out real bad.
Yeah.
It was like ferociously knocked out. I don't even know how to explain it. Like he tried to punch, but he got just caught by a right hook and dropped to the floor and laid there for a long time. Like it was uncomfortably long how long he laid there. But there's been so many memes now of Nate Robinson just laying on the ground, and they've put him in different scenarios, like in different things, sleeping, It was not good. So, and then the NBA blew up on Twitter about how, because Nate Robinson came out saying that he was fighting for the NBA, all of his brothers in the NBA, he's going to show them like what kind of athletes the NBA can put out and all this kind of stuff. And all these guys from the NBA were saying like, you didn't, don't represent us anymore, please. Don't talk about that. And they were just ragging on him pretty bad. It was kind of embarrassing. So then Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. go after it. Again, a lot of hugging involved, apparently. I guess Mike Tyson came out ready to fight. Roy Jones Jr. just wasn't ready for it. They ended up calling the fight as a draw, and both fighters were super mad about it. Apparently, everybody's saying Mike Tyson was the clear winner of this. He didn't knock him out. He didn't really even get real good punches in, but they say he won. But at the end of the fight, they were trying to interview them, and Roy Jones Jr. could not speak because he was so tired. Like he was just completely gassed. Well, he's 3 years younger than Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson was like, yeah, he's like, I feel a little bit tired. He's like, maybe going 3 minutes around would have been hard to do. He's like, but I'm ready to go. And then during the interview, they asked Roy Jones Jr., he says, he's like, were you ever worried about being injured or anything happening to you? And Mike Tyson interrupts the whole thing, and he says, why does everybody keep asking him if he was worried about getting hurt? He says, I've been out of boxing for 15 years, and this guy just got out like 3 or 4 years ago. He's like, he's more prepared than I am. He's like, but nobody worries about Mike Tyson. And I just thought it was hilarious because he blows up about it. But he was in really good shape. He did a really good job. Roy Jones Jr., he was pretty strung out after that. There was a guy that commented on it that I saw on Reddit. He's like, I'm a big drinker. He's like, and I've seen a lot of people getting ready to puke in my day. He said, I've seen myself, the way I look when I'm getting ready to puke, but I'm holding it in. He said, that man was struggling not to puke on that stage.
I'll tell you what, I'm not in shape at all.
Oh, no.
I sometimes get winded, like walking from my truck in the garage, and there's like 2 steps I got to walk up, and then I got to get to the living room.
Yeah. How
I'm
about
fine. But if I'm carrying a pizza, I might get winded. All right. My point is, I did wrestling in high school.
Yeah.
It's miserable. But though you think like, I don't remember how long the rounds are, but I think they're like around 3 minutes in wrestling. You think that seems so short. And I've literally never been so exhausted as after a 3-minute round. And it just feels like it takes forever.
Yes.
And
seems like an eternity.
Nothing. And I was 16 years old when I was doing it. And I was in really, really good shape because the practices are ridiculous. And after 3 minutes, even the first round, you like literally feel like you're drained 100%. Like
yes.
You're a battery and you're all the way down.
So similar to that, I did a combatives class. So like you do basic training and do combatives and stuff, but then they do like advanced combatives, and I did it in Springfield. It was like the first one was like 4 days, but then the second course was like a whole week, and all you do is get beat up the whole time. But the amount of energy you expel in such a short amount of time, everybody in the class, like I was never the most physically fit person, but the most physically fit people there are puking in the corner, because you're just so tired after expelling so much energy. Like fighting against two people, it's something that you don't normally experience. Like your body doesn't normally experience something like that. All of the energy in your body you've expelled in that amount of time, and there's nothing more you can give after that.
Nolan said Tyson was super stoned during the fight.
He talked about
I read
that.
And he's like, well, I smoke all day long every day, so why would I do anything different?
And he said he always did before any fight.
That necessarily would be performance decreasing or increasing. It's probably just, for him, it's probably part of his physiology now.
At this point, the amount of weed that man has smoked in his life, I don't think he could have smoked enough beforehand to be detrimental.
So anyway, probably enough about that.
It was pretty ridiculous. I don't know if now like Evander Holyfield is out there saying he's ready to fight people. I don't think we need it. I don't think we need something like that. I don't think it's fun.
No, it's fine. That was for charity, whatever.
Why don't we just watch regular boxing? The people that do this all the time.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
HBO Max has said that Zak Snyders' Snyder Cut version of the Justice League is just a couple months away.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't give a date.
I thought it was like next summer.
No, they said HBO Max announced.
I'm excited to see it because there is all kinds of things swirling around. At first you heard it was all new footage, and then later on you heard that there was no new footage shot, and then later on you heard that
it's a combination.
That it's a combination, and then I heard later that it's pretty much the same.
I've never heard that it was pretty much the same. I've always heard that it was
different kinds of things. So I'm excited to see it, but I
have to watch
want people to get their hopes up. I think it's going to be a very similar movie.
Yeah.
Than what we got the first time around.
I'm hoping it's not. I'm holding out hope that it is going to be different and it's going to be more of what I want. But either way, I'm going to sit down and watch it again. They're going to get my money from me watching it again.
I mean, I'm already a subscriber, so
right. So that is leading into another big announcement that you just posted on our social media as of yesterday, but it also deals with HBO Max. And for some reason, this company is just stealing everything. But Warner Brothers,
who owns HBO,
right? But either way, HBO is getting everything right now. And I think it's because Warner Brothers has decided that COVID has ruined the movie theater business and theatrical releases really aren't going to be a thing for the near future. So they decided for all of their 2021 slate of movies, they are going to release on HBO Max, along with a theatrical release the same day. But you will be able to watch them on HBO Max the day of their release.
And that's some big movies. Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're already doing it with Wonder Woman. Suicide Squad.
Space Jam.
Mortal Kombat. Dune.
That's the one.
The big one.
That's the one right there.
So I read a little bit more about this later today. AMC is pissed.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
The CEO of AMC made a statement. He came out basically blasting them, telling them, like, how could you do this? we're right around the corner from a vaccine. The movie theater is going to be as big as ever. And we basically allowed you to do it with Wonder Woman.
They didn't allow anything.
They don't have, nobody's listening to that guy.
No.
That guy is shouting into a corner in a padded room somewhere.
Do you think Warner Brothers gives a crap about a movie theater? The only reason they give a crap about a movie theater beforehand is because this is the way we made money.
It's risky, okay, because they're going probably to make a lot less money on those movies.
Yes.
They're going to pick up a lot of subscribers, but
they're also spending so much less in advertising.
But how many movies does Warner Brothers make where there's other production partners involved that they have to pay? And what are those people? Are those production partners going to be as willing to work with a company like Warner Brothers for a fixed fee where they could go work for Universal and possibly get a deal where they're getting a percentage of the box office?
Right.
So, I mean, I think it's interesting to see.
That's the big question now, is whether that box office is going to come back to where it was before COVID.
It is going to eventually. I just don't know when.
You don't know when. That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows when. So making any of those deals.
I would say at this point, the way things are
no
looking,
idea.
If things aren't rocking and rolling by early summer, I would be very surprised. And in reality, I think more like February.
You think that early?
I think that I just read the CEO of Pfizer come out and say they're planning on having 100 million people vaccinated within the next 3 months, which would include basically all the elderly population and all the healthcare workers.
If they take it. I mean, you don't have to take the
We got a live caller on the phone.
Yeah.
We don't. I just cancel it.
Oh, I don't know why I was getting a phone call.
Let's see if it works.
Who is it?
Let's see if it works.
Someone's calling me on the phone.
Keith Pfeiffer, you're live on the air on Snarf Talk right now.
Is Jerry there?
Yeah, I'm right here, Keith.
Jerry, I can't see you, Jerry.
Oh, well, I'm here. You can't see me because you just called my phone.
No, I called twice. You didn't answer.
Yeah. Yeah, we hung up on you one time.
You can check us out on Facebook
Yeah.
or YouTube live.
Both of them?
Yep. Right
Facebook
now.
or YouTube. You could get on there right now.
That's exciting.
It is.
Can I interrupt or no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely interrupted.
You're right in the middle of our live broadcast of Snarf Talk.
Oh, man.
I don't know if anybody can hear you.
Probably not.
So we'll talk to you later.
Have a good night, guys.
All right. Bye.
Well, that was Keith. He's our toilet bowl winner of Snarf Madness. He did the absolute worst out of anybody I've ever seen play a game in my life. He really did awful. So we got him a toilet bowl. And
Sorry, we got that screwed up our camera. Lisa's on there laughing. I think that Keith knew exactly what he was doing.
yeah, I'm positive he did.
We'll have to figure out a way to make that work in the future. I really thought it was going to work.
No, it has to be connected through this right here. If we had that Rode Procaster,
Yeah.
the Rodecaster, it would work just fine. We could route phone calls through it all the time.
We'll figure that out for next time because we can probably route people in via Zoom or on, what's the other one? Skype.
There's so much production involved with all this, It's really annoying. I wish you'd just take care of that and I wouldn't have to think about things.
All right. First time caller, long time listener, Erica says. All right. What do we got next for news, Jerry?
That's all I had.
Guys, there's a lot of new people listening now. Pretty soon we're doing top 10 breakfast foods, and it's going to be very exciting.
Yes. That's all I had for big news really this week. I haven't had much else.
I don't really have any other news either. No, I don't have any news either. The HBO thing, that was a big deal.
That's huge. That's enormous.
So do we want to get in top 10 or do we want to do what you're watching first?
I don't care. Up to you. Did you watch anything?
I watched 2 things.
That's really all I watched too. We can do that real quick.
Okay. Well, I haven't really watched much this week at all because I've been out every night
Yes.
under the cover of darkness.
Yes.
Hunting raccoons.
Raccoons, if you will. Yeah. Yeah, you did a lot of raccoon hunting.
Yeah, we did. It was a lot of fun.
Was it? Used dogs, huh?
We did. We used dogs. We hunted right behind your house, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not close, super close to your house, but right over there somewhere.
There's a lot of them in there.
Yeah, and we got one big one, 124-pounder.
Really? That is a big coon.
It's a big one. Dropped her, and it went toe-to-toe. I mean, it survived.
Yeah.
The shot and the fall. And then got pretty dicey with one of the dogs.
Raccoons can really mess up a dog.
Yeah, it tore him up pretty good.
Yeah, they will.
We'd have pin it down and finish her off.
That's what you have to do. My dad had a couple dogs drowned by raccoons before, because he used to hunt coons all the time with dogs, and they were by a creek, and 2 raccoons got on the top of his dog and pulled it, like rolled into the creek, and they just put his head under the water and drowned him. There's nothing they could do about it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he had 2 dogs die like that.
That's crazy.
I know, it's insane. I had that happen when I lived in the other house when we were building. I went outside. The dogs were going nuts. I went outside, and there was a raccoon that had a hold of my dog Nala, had a hold of her leg and one of them on her head. And I was like, I had a 22 out there, and I was like, whoa. And I was yelling at Amy to hold the flashlight, and I'm over here like bobbing around, figuring out what to do. And finally, I just decided to go over there, and I stepped on one and dispatched it. And then I just kept kicking my dog and the raccoon, and it finally came off and ran up a tree. I got rid of that one.
Well, we went with the kids, brought the kids.
Yeah.
And Cash loved it.
Did he?
Like, loved it.
That's great.
That's all he wants to do. He wants a gun.
Well, the season
he
is...
He wants to go deer hunting. He wants to do all of it.
The season is still open until February 15th.
Yeah, but we don't have dogs now.
So?
I don't know how you really... It's a lot... I don't really know how you do it without the dogs, other than just... You're basically just walking around.
Yeah, that's all you're doing.
It's going to be really hard to find them.
No, it's not. That's the only way I've ever done it.
That's the way I've done it too when I was younger, but usually just walking around during the day.
Oh, well, you don't find much during the day.
You'll find them and shoot them.
No, it's at night. You walk around at night with a headlight on, and you'll see them all over the place.
Yeah.
They're crawling all over. I see 6 of them in the road on my way home after we're recording. I see them
all over too, but...
That's all you need to do. Get some dog food, pour it in the road.
Cat food.
And then just wait. Just wait. And then they'll be out there.
Yeah, that's not really hunting as much as baiting and shooting.
Correct. that's the way we hunt nowadays.
Anyway, so that was fun. So I haven't watched much. So there's only been really one thing I've watched, and it's kind of the thing I've been watching like to fall asleep at night.
Okay.
I've been waiting to start this show that David told me about, which was...
Oh, yeah, Godless.
But I've been getting home late, and so I haven't got into that yet.
I had started that show a while ago and watched like the first two episodes of it, and I never followed up, so I need to go back.
So the one I've been watching a lot lately has been Schitt's Creek.
Did you? I was looking into that, and I haven't ever watched it.
So a lot of people I know have watched it, and they liked it, and it's one of those type shows that you can just kind of watch and not really have to think about.
Yeah.
At least at first. I really enjoy it. Like, I really got into it. It's very funny. I like how it's structured. It's not like sitcom-y at all.
I've heard it described as a ritzy version at first, like an expensive version of Arrested Development.
It's not like Arrested Development.
That's the way it was described to me.
I don't know. I really enjoy it. I'm a huge fan of Eugene Levy in general.
Yeah.
He's very funny.
And his son,
who's not my favorite character, but he's pretty good. I really like the daughter, Alexis. I don't know. I just think she's very good. She plays like this kind of prissy, rich girl.
Yeah.
But she's got probably the character that's the most... None of them are very likable.
Oh.
They're rich people in this small town that just hate the fact that they have to be there. And,
because they bought that town as a joke.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't really understand what that means. And they don't ever really talk about it. But what's the dude's name in it? The guy that's the mayor of the town. Grab onto my strong hand.
Yeah.
Christopher. Is that his name, right?
Yep. It's Chris something.
Chris something. Gosh, somebody will tell us in the comments. Anyway, I love that guy. I mean, he's great in everything.
He's very good. His daughter was on Saturday Night Live for a while.
Really?
Yep.
And the guy who plays the guy that runs the auto garage, it's just some guy who lives in the town named Bob.
Okay.
But the guy's hilarious. The actor's hilarious. It's a Canadian show.
Is it really? Oh, I didn't know that. So
Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara are Canadian, I believe.
Are they?
Anyway, I really enjoy it. Yeah, Roland Shit's his name in the show, but his name in real life is Chris something.
Roland Shitz? That's his name?
Yeah. Same guy plays Amy's brother in Everyone Loves Raymond. I don't know. I never was a big Everybody Loves Raymond watcher.
I watched it a lot, but I don't. That still doesn't tell us his last name. We know it's Chris something.
It's Chris something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I really enjoy it, and it's something I've just kind of been turning on every night just to kind of fall asleep to. But then the next night I got to go back because
right.
Yeah.
So that's what I do with Survivor. I'm still watching Survivor. I don't care. I'm on the last season though that I can watch. 34 episode or season 34
Chris
is the
Elliott.
last one.
Is that right?
Chris Elliott. Yes.
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 Cabin Boy. Remember that movie?
Oh, absolutely.
I love that movie.
It's very
I
good.
Absolutely love that movie.
What's her?
These pipes are clean.
I do. I love Survivor. Season 34 is the last one on Hulu. There's 41 seasons as of right now, or the 41st is supposed to come on this coming up like February. I'm on 34. I'm going to finish that, and then I'll be done. You won't hear me talk about it anymore. But it's one that I fall asleep to. But then, obviously, I'm still watching Mandalorian. The newest episode came out today.
Yep. I haven't seen it, and we're not talking about it.
I watched it, and I'm going to start spoiling it now. So, the Mandalorian... No, I won't do that. But
Is Ahsoka in it again?
Absolutely phenomenal. No, she's not. And you wouldn't think they'd be able to do a better episode than that in the season. But this one was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved everything about it. And then the next thing with Star Wars is that I decided finally that I'm going to watch all of Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, finally.
I know.
My life is complete.
I've done the Clone Wars thing, and I finally decided to start the Rebels, and I watched 15 episodes today.
Wow.
And that was in a very short amount of time, because I didn't even...
How many are in a season?
There was 16 in the first season, but I watched up until the third episode in season 2. So I don't know where I was at 7 or 8, maybe. And that wouldn't be right then. I didn't watch 15 episodes then because I started at episode 7 in season 1, and I ended tonight before I came here on episode 3 of season 2.
Okay.
So there's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 episodes tonight. They're 23 minutes long. It was just playing all day, and I was watching it, and it's amazing. The first season is nothing to write home about. It was good, but the start of the second season is already blowing me away. And I texted you about it because there's a couple scenes with Darth Vader in there that I was like, that's like the best image of Darth Vader I've ever seen in anything. In anything.
It's so good, this show. I'm telling you.
They blow up some AT-ATs and they fall down. You think they fall on top of him. You can see him put his hand up. You think it falls on top of him, but then he picks him up, and when he's standing up with his hand up above him and there's like fire behind him and he's holding AT-ATs above his head, and then he just drops them behind him, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's unbelievable. And the lightsaber battles and stuff that they've had so far, and I know Ahsoka has a lightsaber battle with him, and everybody's talked about it a lot. I just want to get to that point and see it. I need to know what happens next.
Yeah, and is the Obi-Wan Darth Maul, that's in Rebels, right? Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Dude, there's so much of this show.
Yeah, I'm only on, and there's only 4 seasons, so
it's such a good show.
If
you like Star Wars, you need to watch it. It's required watching.
Yeah, it's insane so far.
And you get such a connection to the characters. Like, you really
that was another thing.
As much as you do, like, what's a show that people got really invested in? Like, where they felt like the characters were like a part of their family. There's like shows like that, right? This is one of those types of shows.
Like Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, or Assassin's Creek.
Right, or Assassin's Creek. Copyright Snarf.
Copyright Snarf Talk.
No, but so there was one point like that tonight, and it was in that episode 1 of season 2, where Ahsoka is riding in the ship and Darth Vader is chasing them in a TIE fighter and shooting at them and everything. And they're trying to figure out who's in there because they don't know who's in that ship. And so her and Kanan are like using the Force to figure out who's in there. And then they finally connect, and it like blows her off her chair because she realizes who it is. And that connection right there is where Amy was sitting in the room with me, and I looked at her and I was like, I should have been watching this a long time ago.
Absolutely, you should have.
I know. And I looked at her, I was like, man, I like the look on her face, even though it's a cartoon and I know people think it's silly, but the look on her face and the connection that you know about that they've had in past episodes, it's like holy smokes, what she must be feeling. And the way they end Clone Wars, like the way you see they end Clone Wars, it's just unbelievable. Like that moment right there, I was like, man, it was so great. And
it's really crazy for me to think that you like this show this much, and the last 3 seasons are by far and away better than the first 2.
It'd have to be the last 2 seasons.
Whatever.
Because there's only 4, and I'm on the second season. So,
and there's a new
season
one coming.
3 and 4. There is?
I believe they're making a new one, yeah.
I saw the last air date was March 5th, 2018. Yeah. I didn't realize it was that close to now. I thought it was a while ago.
No. Yeah, it's been since we started the podcast, I believe. I remember talking about it.
We started it at the end of 2018.
Yeah, it was fresh when we were.
Yeah.
Because I remember dude coming on and us talking about it.
Yes, a lot about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything that you were talking about. I was like, this sounds like a bunch of bull.
It is great. I love it, and I'm so glad that you're watching it now, finally.
I am. So that's all I've watched, though. I haven't watched anything else new.
So I haven't watched anything else because I have been spending every night when I get home, whatever time it be, until like 3 o'clock in the morning, playing a video game.
Really?
Yeah.
What video game are you playing?
Fallout 76.
Why are you playing that
Finally got into it. I've owned it for like
2 years. Yeah.
Never played it. They've come out with several new like big updates that basically made it a game. Like when it first came out, it wasn't a game.
It was junk.
It was just like basically
hot garbage.
People.
Trash.
There was no NPCs, right? There was no non-playable characters. So it was just basically like a bunch of people running around in an apocalyptic wasteland.
It was all online.
Yeah.
So it was all online.
And it's still running. There is a lot of that, but they've added storylines and NPCs and quests and storyline, Yeah. So you can play it as a single player game, but as that's going on, you're inhabiting a world where other people are running around as characters. Yeah. You can talk to them, you can team up with them, you can go on missions with them. They can join with you to help you with one of your quests or missions. They can build their own camps. They can put up stores that you can shop at.
Really?
I love it. I love this game.
But when it came out, it was just a very unfinished game.
It just wasn't finished.
Why do you think they rushed it out into the world then for it to get such a bad rap?
I don't think they understood that most people that play Fallout play it for the single player storyline. They don't want
the content.
They don't want a multiplayer experience. I don't want a multiplayer experience. Mm-hmm. I want a single player game. So you get that. But also while you're doing that, there's other people in the world, and you kind of can do some of the multiplayer stuff, even though normally I would be like, I don't want to talk to anybody else. I don't want to see another person. I don't want to do anything.
So like your regular day life.
Yeah, basically.
Where you don't want to speak to people or leave your house.
But several times I've teamed up, and you can do like little emojis. I mean, sometimes you can talk to people. So you can engage with people, and you can fight people. And the cool thing is, though, like if somebody comes up on you and starts shooting at you, it's not like Fortnite, where it's like a bunch of people running around trying to kill each other.
Right.
All the people in there are trying to do their own thing.
Right.
Or
It's more real life.
It is more real life. So somebody can come up on you and start shooting at you, but if you don't engage back, they can't really hurt you. I mean, it'll take some of your life, but very, very, very little. So they can't really do any damage, so it's like de-incentivized.
That's a smart move.
It is. But if you shoot back at them,
then it's a battle.
Then it's a battle. But nobody ever does that. I've never come across one single person in Fallout 76 that has ever tried to engage me in any sort of that kind of nonsense. Everybody's always trying to do something. So there's all the storyline quests, which there's a lot of, all right? And they range from fun to interesting to banal, just like any other type of game like that. There's a lot of annoyingly stupid ones that are just not that great. There's a lot of crafting, a lot. Like your weapons break, you have to repair them. You have to have parts to repair them. You have to forage for parts. You have to break down parts. You got to store stuff. You can only carry so much.
Feels so tedious to me.
But there's fast travel, which is really nice. All right, so that's good.
I know, but it still feels so tedious to have to wait and do that kind of stuff.
There is a lot. At first, it's hard to get into, but once you're into it, it's you can know enough that you can go gather that stuff on your quests, and like when you're full and you can go back. It's just really well done and how it's executed, so it's not that big of a deal. You kind of go out and do a quest. You do your quest, which might take 4 hours, and you gather whatever stuff you do along the way.
Yeah.
And eventually you know what's important and what's not important. And then at the end, you just go back to your camp and you just spend like a half an hour unloading everything and leveling up your guy and fixing your weapons and crafting new mods on your weapons. So it's not that big of a deal. It actually becomes kind of fun in a way.
Yeah. It's like part of your...
Yeah, it's just part of the experience. Yeah. So I really enjoy it. It's not one that I'm going to continue. Like, I'm going to try and like be a little more healthy with my addiction to where like it's like
healthy with my addiction.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
So you're playing it like literally all night, every night.
So I've been playing it from like 9 o'clock when the kids go to bed until like 3 o'clock in the morning.
How can you do that? How do you do that?
I don't know. Then I get up at 6:30.
I know. I don't understand it.
It's not healthy, but
it's not good for you.
Anyway, it hasn't worn thin yet. I guess I haven't got to the point where...
It's the only thing that makes me feel.
I guess I haven't gotten to the point where I feel like I'm wasting too much time. Like I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm barely scratching the surface of the game. I probably
That's
got 20
insane.
hours in. But not 20. Probably not even that much. Anyway, I really enjoy it. And the cool thing about it is, separate from all the quests that you want to do, like randomly, like it'll pop up an event. So to be like, and that's where anybody that's in the game world can join, and you guys can all join together for this event. And this event might be like, okay, there's a den of super mutants over here, and it might be like a loose storyline, like this guy's wanted, the marshal wants you to apprehend this guy. The event is all of you get together, infiltrate this base, get this guy. And then if you do that
would be fun.
That little quest, kind of like Warcraft, I think is how that works, but I don't know. If you do that quest, then everybody wins, whatever rewards and XP.
Really?
Yeah. So that's fun. But sometimes just even on regular single player quests, there'll be like another dude that'll just run up, and I'll just like give him like a thumbs up emoji or like a come here emoji, and he'll come help you.
So you don't actually have to physically speak to them?
Oh, no, I don't even have a microphone.
Oh, no kidding.
I don't know what that dinging is, but...
Huh. It might be my phone.
No, I think it's mine.
Oh.
Anyway, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad that they fixed it. Like there's two. So eventually when they fixed it, it was called the Wastelander Edition. And they came out with all the single player content. And now they just came out with a new update called like the Brotherhood of Steel Edition or whatever. Or Steel Dawn, I think it's called. And I haven't really done much of that yet. I'm only at level 18. So.
I really want to play. So I had bought Star Wars Squadrons.
So did I, but I haven't even... I downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet.
I didn't even download it because I was like, this is going to be a Christmas present. I was like, no, I don't want this to be a Christmas present. I want it to be like played right now.
I did the same exact thing.
Like I've got it now, and I need to just download it and play it. And I just said to Amy maybe last night, I was like, So that Star Wars game, I was like, it's a digital download.
It's only $19.
I'm like, I'm just gonna start playing that.
Did you play it?
She's like, okay, whatever. No, I haven't yet. I haven't even downloaded it yet. I just made the decision like yesterday that I was gonna do this.
Yeah. So we got that. We both got that to play. And then for any of the other gamers that are listening, the new season of Fortnite came out.
It did.
So that's pretty fun.
Got a battle pass tonight.
I got the battle pass for cash. I haven't got one for myself. I probably won't. But the first character in it is the Mandalorian himself, with Baby Yoda in tow. If you unlock him,
Yeah, Grogu.
Grogu.
Obviously, is his
And,
name, Chris.
You know, I like Fortnite. I haven't been playing it much at all.
I never play it. I have no ties to it
It
whatsoever.
kind of wore thin on me. It's fun to play with your kids.
Meh.
I enjoy playing it with Cash and your children.
Yeah, I know. I don't really enjoy the game at all. I just can't get into it. I don't know why.
It's
Yeah.
only fun for me to play on teams. I do not like playing
You can't play solo.
solo.
Yeah.
Solo is terrible because people cheat. They team up,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's cheating. It's like against the rules.
I know.
And it drives me insane when it happens because that's who wins every time. So I will play teams, and that's it, or squads, or whatever
Yeah.
they call it.
And that looks really fun, and I've played it before. I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah. Anyway, so nothing else. So we're on to our top 10.
We are on our top 10 breakfast foods.
Top 10 breakfast foods.
Yes.
Requested by Mr. Who requested?
Nolan Green.
Nolan.
Yeah. He had the idea long ago. I believe we've talked about it before, but it was basically stemmed off of his request.
Okay, rules set forth in place by me and Jerry.
Yes.
We decided that, like as we said previously, they have to be like full meals, not individual foods.
Yes.
The reason for this is because that would get bogged down. There's only a top 10. And if you had to devote a spot to egg and devote a spot to bacon and devote a spot to sausage, you wouldn't get
can't do
anything
that.
done.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get anything fun accomplished. It
Because
would be interesting.
Yeah, and I'd have like bacon,
You're right.
egg,
Bacon.
bacon,
Bacon bits? Or what was that called?
bacon strips.
Bacon strips.
Yeah, it was a dog treat.
Listen, when we got our current dog, Havoc, he's now 8 years old. The first thing I did was I ran to the store. I'm like, I got to get bacon strips.
They are awful.
I've never had a dog. I mean, other than when I was a kid before they came out. They're not like bacon at all.
Oh,
It's dog food.
it hurts your mouth to eat.
I didn't try to eat them.
I ate one. Or I didn't eat the whole thing. But I smelled it. And I was like, it kind of smells like bacon. And I took a bite of one, and it is like paint thinner. It's so chemically made. I don't know what's in it. It's awful.
We have these little treats for Havoc now. They're the letter B, and they're banana and peanut butter.
Really?
He loves them.
Well, I'm pretty sure bacon strips are made out of plastic. So
Bacon.
don't buy those.
No, don't buy bacon strips. All right, top 10. You want to start it off? Oh,
Nope.
no,
You
it's me.
always start with number 10.
All right, number.
People are gonna
10
hate my number 10.
for me. This was difficult. All right, this whole list was more difficult than I thought.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to have this higher. I understand that. I get it. But my number 10 is the classic omelet.
The classic omelet. Okay.
And I have to be specific about my ingredients.
Yes, you should be.
I like a spinach, feta, mushroom omelet.
Wow.
That is what I enjoy. Yeah, I can make the perfect omelet. And cheese, I'm sorry, of course.
Of course, cheese.
I am like an expert at making omelets.
Yeah.
I've watched every YouTube video.
I was just gonna say I've watched so many videos.
But the
on making
best one
omelets.
ever, honestly, and David's gonna make fun of it, but the best one ever is Gordon Ramsay's How to Make. Oh no,
He won't.
it's Jamie
Oliver.
Jamie Oliver's.
No, you need to watch Wolfgang make an omelet.
I really like Jamie Oliver's. That was one of the best ones. Also, Gordon Ramsay's is really good. But anyway, because they do the ones where you fold them. You know.
Jacques Pepin does a phenomenal omelet.
Yeah. So, but I like an omelet as long as they're not too dry. I don't like when they dry out the eggs. I like my eggs on the rare side.
I don't like real wet eggs. I really don't.
See, you
It's
don't know what you're doing.
I'll eat them that way. I don't like them dry. I don't want them like really dry on the outside, but I
I
don't
like
want
a
them wet.
runny wet egg omelet on the inside with a lot of cheese.
I don't like a wet omelet.
I love a good, like I said, spinach, feta, mushroom.
Yeah.
But I'll take like a Velveeta cheese omelet too.
Oh, I would too.
Those are great.
I would take any type of cheese on an omelet,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
I really would.
But I love feta or goat cheese, either one of those.
The problem is any restaurant around here that you get an omelet, it's going to be a dry.
It's dry.
Omelet.
But, and we'll mention going through here some places that we go because I go out for breakfast a lot. I've had good omelets at Morris Pancake House. I do think it's the best breakfast spot in Morris, Illinois. But Crispy Waffle in Shorewood does a solid job too.
Really? I've never eaten there, and I've seen it so many times.
But, that is my choice for number 10.
You're going to hate my number 10. A lot of people are because I understand there's more choices, but this is what I enjoy, right? So it's super boring, but I've always loved it my entire life, and it's because I've been poor forever. But it's literally oatmeal.
I love oatmeal.
I think oatmeal.
I actually had it on my my long list.
Really? I thought I was going to get stoned as soon as I said it.
I like a good oatmeal.
You can add anything to oatmeal. You can add like butter to oatmeal. You can add sugar to
What's
oatmeal.
your favorite
You can
kind of oatmeal?
I like the generic apple cinnamon oatmeal.
Ugh.
I love it.
I like the maple.
Maple brown sugar. Yeah, that's fine.
What about
I like regular oatmeal, like plain oatmeal, and then adding my own things to it.
like bananas,
Yeah.
blueberries?
Yes. Strawberries.
Now, what's your position on steel cut oats versus like instant oatmeal?
So
Have you had steel?
yes, I've
cut
done
oats?
my own oatmeal before, and it usually is better quality at the end of the day. Like it's heartier, I feel like.
Kevin Seaton Up says phenomenal. Is that a restaurant?
Maybe it is. It is better oatmeal at the end of the day,
I don't
but
like
the amount
steel
of
cut oats.
but the amount of time you have to put into it,
A lot.
it's not worth it to me when it is so instant in those packages, and it's not enough difference to say that I wouldn't use the instant. Like
Yeah.
instant is the way to go.
I make 2 packets and I do it all the time.
Yes, and
With
it's
milk,
so good.
Not with water.
No, you have to use milk. Richer, thicker. I want it thick.
Try it with half and half.
I want it thick, boy.
Give me that.
I want a thick boy.
with a side of Heinz
Oh, boy, give me that thick meal. That thick oatmeal, boy. And them beans. I want to put them beans in my thick meal.
What kind of beans?
I want them Heinz. I want them vinegar. Heinz beans in my thick meal. That's my number 10.
Okay. All right. My number 9 is also probably going to attract some ire, if you will.
Right.
I love Mexican breakfast foods.
Oh, chorizo?
Just all of it.
Okay.
All of it. And I've
That's the only thing I know
I've
of.
spent a lot of time in Mexico.
Huevos
so
rancheros?
Huevos rancheros. I spent a lot of time in Mexico, so I've eaten a lot of different things. I just think the Mexican cuisine gives eggs the most to do, first off.
Oh, yeah. They got a lot of work.
And everything that they have sauce-wise just works really well.
They're very saucy.
And the tortilla is also a very good breakfast item.
They have a whole dance called the salsa.
So my number 9, though, is huevos molteños.
So it's multiple eggs
No.
in an anus.
No. So it
an
is
egg.
a fried tortilla, flat,
Okay.
all right, with eggs on it, and it will use and like other stuff, like like whatever you would put in an omelet, basically. And it's covered in like you can do it 2 ways, either like that red sauce that you get
Right.
in Mexican food, that heavy red sauce, or you can do like a mole, and that's the way I like
Oh,
it,
yeah.
with a
Moles.
good mole sauce.
You got to add chocolate.
And
to
then
it.
all kinds, whatever you want to add in basically to it. So it's basically like eggs on a fried, crispy tortilla
Sure.
smothered in
Sauce.
sauce.
Yeah. Give me that sauce.
Usually with like ham and onions and things like that. So it's like a Mexican skillet, kind of.
Yeah.
But with a tortilla, a crispy tortilla base. And it's delicious.
Sounds really good.
Huevos molteños.
But you're saying you've had this in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Like
That's like
from
all,
people.
whatever
you've
eat
never. There's no way you would have gotten this around here.
You can get it here. Yeah, for
Where?
sure. At a Mexican place.
Toby's.
Probably.
They're not open for breakfast, are they?
Not sure.
Well, now we have to check.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I really want to try that.
I'd go there for some desayuno.
I don't know what
That
that
means
is.
breakfast in Espanol.
It does?
Yeah. See.
Espanol?
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you're ever in a Mexican restaurant for breakfast or you're in Mexico, on menu or not, ask for huevos molteños. If you go to
Not rancheros.
vacation, no, huevos rancheros is more like a
Skillet.
it's basically like eggs and tortilla like smothered in salsa. It's more Texas, northern Mexico.
Yeah, there's like
southern.
potatoes and meat
It's-
with eggs on top.
I think it's an
and-
American invention of Mexican breakfast,
Probably.
but it's still good. I like that too.
Yeah.
Molteños is better. I'm telling you, crispy tortilla, mole sauce, beautiful.
A lot of egg in there.
Yeah, I mean
Medium egg.
the egg is the
Star of the show.
it's the main thing.
It's got to be. All right. My number 9. Again, pretty generic, but a mainstay. And I have it lower on my list because it's not one of my favorites, but it's my 9th favorite. It's just a nice standard pancake. Pancakes,
A pancake.
hot cakes, Johnny cakes, short cakes, whatever you want to call them.
Short stack.
Give me a short stack of them cakes.
All right. What kind do you like? Do you like them thick and fluffy, or do you like them thin?
No, I'm not a thin guy.
I'm a thin guy.
I'm not. I want them thick and fluffy. I want to feel so weighed down after eating these
You want them
pancakes.
to mop up the syrup.
Oh my God. I want to put syrup on them and have 2 bites and be like, it soaked up all of the syrup, the gallon of syrup I just put on it. So I put another gallon of syrup
Do you
on
ever
it.
try some boysenberry syrup?
I have had that. I've had multiple different types of syrup on pancakes. I also like a lot of butter on pancakes because I like butter on everything.
So since I like them thin, personally.
Right.
That's the way I like my pancakes. Not often to get thin pancakes at a restaurant, though.
Just no, and it's a poor choice, to have it that way.
Where do you like?
You're talking about crepes.
Where do you like pancakes normally? Around here.
So I've gotten them a lot from Morris Pancake House, obviously. I've gotten them from Sherwood Oaks. I've gotten them from our place.
Morris
But
Pancake House is superior to both of those other places.
it is. But have you ever went to the Whistle Stop in Coal City?
Yeah, I've gone there. We go there quite a bit.
You got pretty good breakfast.
They're okay. It's okay. They got a breakfast buffet a lot of times, and it's all you can eat.
Oh, I've
bacon.
never seen the buffet.
All you can eat bacon. It's on Sundays, I believe.
They got a pretty good breakfast.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But, I mean, IHOP has really good pancakes, to be honest. They do. When it was good.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to an IHOP in years. The one in Morris, literally, you go there to die now. Like, that's where people go to die.
Cockroaches go there to die.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, standard old pancake. I'll make my own pancakes at home a lot. Phenomenal.
Yeah, super easy to make too. That's what's great.
I love them.
I like the ones that you just get them where you pour the water in and you shake it up. Pancakes.
I've literally never done that.
Aunt
in my life.
Jemima, they come already in like a pitcher, a pour pitcher, and all you do is add water to them, shake them up, and they're ready to go.
Really? You don't need a bowl or nothing?
Nope.
Whisk it up?
Great.
But you got to whisk it up. And you can't whisk too much because if you whisk it too much, all those air bubbles you put in the batter will go away, and then you get a really thin pancake. You'll get like a crepe. But if you whisk it and let it sit for like 10 minutes, it literally puffs up and gets airy. You put it on there and you get this big fluffy
You know
pancakes.
what my favorite thing is?
So good.
Sweet corn pancakes. That's like a Hartford tradition.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet corn pancakes.
Yeah, take your sweet corn, fresh sweet corn, just cut it off and just throw the sweet corn in the batter.
That's a real thing?
Yeah,
I would do that.
literally eat it every day at my mom's house during sweet corn season.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like you still do.
Yes. My mom
Why
made
have I
sweet
never
corn
heard of
pancakes
this?
every day for my dad this whole entire summer.
Why have I never heard of this?
Because we're the only ones that do it that I know of. I've never heard of anybody else doing it. But
Yeah.
sweet corn pancakes are the shit.
I would, and you just add the same things like syrup and
It's
stuff.
exactly
on
the same. You just throw
Sweet corn.
sweet corn cut off the ear, throw it in the batter. And it's delicious. The sweet corn is like the perfect panache on the pancake.
All right. I'm going to try that. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I got bags of sweet corn at home. I'm just going to thaw one out.
You can do it with that, yeah. It might not be quite as good, but drain it. Don't put all the juices in.
There's really no juice in there. It's just cut off the cob and put in a vacuum seal bag.
Do it. Try it. And you can't put too much or too little. I mean, you just eyeball it.
Yeah, I'm just going to sprinkle. Like sowing seeds.
Skeet.
Yeah, I'm going to skeet my corn in the batter. Is that weird?
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay.
All right, my number 8. This, I don't know. I asked Jerry earlier if this was acceptable or not. He didn't answer, so I'm just going to
you did?
I'm just going to say, because I didn't want to waste 2 spots on 2 delicious items.
Okay.
But because they're in the same family.
All right.
So I'm just going to say pastries.
Oh, all right. No, I agree with you.
And I'm going to
remember the pastry predicament episode that we had?
Yes.
This is why.
By the way, I don't think donuts count as a pastry.
Yes, they do.
They're fried, right?
Yeah.
A pastry is more bread. Like,
I don't know.
Anyway, I'm going to be specific with my pastries. I'm actually not a huge donut guy. My pastries would be cinnamon rolls and cheese danishes. Those are the 2 hot commodities in my world.
They really are so good.
And I love them. So I just go ahead and throw the whole pastry category. Because I'll eat any pastry. I like a good coffee cake.
What about a strudel?
A strudel's great.
Yeah.
Coffee cake's fantastic.
It
especially
is.
A cheese-based coffee cake.
I agree with you, but I don't like the ends when it gets real bready. I need that filling. I need the cheese. I need the middle sections of coffee cake.
Erica's saying, tell me more about sweet corn pancakes. I think I covered it. She might have been catching up.
Tell me more about that.
David said, add a can of diced green chilies with the corn. That's got me intrigued because there's something about heat and sweet with the syrup and the chilies that might work.
Here's the deal. But
you want chilies that give you the heat without the peppery taste as much.
So I had chicken and waffles in Nashville, and the waffles were a strawberry jalapeno waffle. Doesn't sound like it would be a good thing, but I ordered it. I never had chicken and waffles before. This is at BB King's restaurant.
I am obsessed with BB King, by the way. I always have been.
I thought this is going to be ridiculous, but I got it, and they give you a big old thing of syrup, fried chicken, and these 2 big waffles, and it was strawberry jalapeno waffles. Put the syrup all over it. I've never had anything like that in my life.
Really?
It changed my world.
Yeah.
It was so good. You did have the heat, but you had like a strawberry waffle involved too with so much sweetness with the syrup. And then you're eating this fried crunchy chicken. Holy crap. Are they onto something?
This is what I was saying earlier with the Mexican breakfast, which I think is the way to go. And I think it's because the pepper and that heat is like the perfect thing for breakfast. It really unlocks stuff.
Yeah. Your senses.
Yeah, for sure. And, in Mexican cuisine, they don't necessarily mix it as much with sweet stuff, but they do have like sweet breads that you get there a lot. Their pastries aren't as ridiculous as they are in the United States.
Nothing is.
They're more like a bread, but with a little bit of sweetness to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm in with the pepper thing, so I think that could work.
Yeah, diced green chilies, that would be very good.
Kevin said, David's eating top, only way to make a corn casserole acceptable from the last episode. I don't know what that refers to other than the fact that there's only one acceptable way to make a corn casserole, in my opinion.
Only way to make a corn casserole acceptable from the last episode is with diced green chilies?
Yeah. See, I've never added diced green chilies. I just do 1 box Jiffy corn casserole mix, 1 can creamed corn, 1 can drained whole sweet corn, 1 stick butter, and 1 cup of sour cream, and then you can double it if you want to do a 13 by 9 pan. Super easy.
It is very easy.
But you can throw peppers in there or cheese. Some people do. I don't.
Interesting.
What were we talking about? Pastries.
Oh, yeah,
I love a cheese Danish, and I absolutely love a good cinnamon roll. And it's hard to find a good cinnamon roll, but if you find them, just use it as a pillow.
Yes. Just smother yourself in that cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Cinnamon rolls are good. I don't care if they just come from a regular can.
No, I like the good, thick, real ones. You know, for a while, it's going to sound dumb, but Casey's had these fresh baked ones that came in like the plastic container.
Yeah.
They don't have them anymore. They were really good for like a gas station cinnamon roll.
I don't remember.
Not like the ones that come out of the donut case. These were like actual cinnamon rolls.
Sure.
I'm not a big fan of the hockey puck Pillsbury ones.
What about the Grands?
No.
The big ones.
That's Pillsbury as well.
Yeah, I know.
They're
the bigger
okay.
ones.
I
Not the curly Q ones, but the bigger solid
I'll
ones.
leave them. That's not what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about my number 8, I'm talking about a real monster cinnamon roll, a real one you're gonna get from a bakery.
Yeah.
Like Morris Bakery.
I got you.
So that's it. You're number 8.
So my number 8, I've already basically touched on it because I started talking about it because of that strawberry and jalapeno thing, but waffles and / chicken and waffles. That's kind of a brunch thing too. You can eat it for dinner, but I like it for breakfast. I would eat that anytime at breakfast. Waffles, Belgium waffles, like those big, heavy, dense, thick things are so good. Waffles, I think, are way better than pancakes. They just destroy a pancake all day long.
I agree 100%.
I love them.
I've only had chicken and waffles a couple times.
I've only had it that one time, but I want it every day of my life now.
Was it bone-in chicken or was it a chicken strip?
No, it was bone-in.
Because I've had it both ways. A lot of times you'll just get like a chicken strip type thing, especially at like your more fast foody type places.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge chicken fan, but chicken and waffles and syrup works very well. It's not like an overhyped, this is a hot commodity thing, because it is the hot thing now.
I thought it was ridiculous when I heard about it the first time.
It works. It really does.
And
because you got sweet and salty.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So I just thought when I was in Memphis, and I was like, I'm in Memphis. I'm at BB King's restaurant. And I asked the waiter, I was like, what's like your favorite thing here? And that's what he told me. I was like, It's like, I've always thought that was strange. I'll get it. And I got it, and I was like, I am so stupid. Why have I thought this was ridiculous? Because it's not ridiculous. It's one of the best things I've eaten.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to me now.
Yeah.
And I want it all the time. And if you smother it in a homogenized syrup.
Oh, yeah. Canada's national pride.
I love it.
Number 7.
Was that 7? Well, that was my 8. So yeah, you're 7.
People are going to have this higher, probably. You're probably going to have it higher.
Okay.
But my number 7 is biscuits and gravy. You're going to have it higher.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not like an Uber fan, but I enjoy it. That's why I have it at 7.
Right.
I think my issue is that lots of times around here, you get very substandard biscuits and gravy.
Most of the time you do.
Unless you go to somewhere that's kind of known for it. There is a place that's pretty good in Manuka called Teardrop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's
where that is
by McDonald's by the railroad tracks.
Okay.
The one kind of closer to downtown.
Yeah, like on Mondamin.
Yeah, in a little strip mall.
Okay.
That place is pretty good, and they got biscuits and gravy menu. So you can get like a southern biscuits and gravy that's got some spice added, and it's made with chicken fried steak or something like that.
Oh, I'm more of a purist. I want it the normal, classic.
You can get that too.
Biscuits and gravy.
But yeah, I mean,
I just made it at home the other day for no reason other than I wanted it.
Homemade biscuits and gravy is the way to go.
Yeah.
It's really hard to beat it.
I like it a little more spicy.
I like it spicy. I like to put some Tabasco in it, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe even.
I use a spicy sausage. Obviously, I love salt.
Chorizo?
I've never done it with chorizo because
good
it's so
too.
greasy. I'd have to drain the grease.
Yeah.
But I would do that. I should do that because I really love that stuff.
So that's my number 7.
Yeah, so that's why I said it. David just commented, crush that thing in hydrogenated vegetable oil. That's what it is.
What?
I said homogenized syrup, and it's hydrogenated vegetable oil. So it's a thing from Anthony Bourdain's. It's not No Reservations. It was Parts Unknown, and he was in South Carolina with
Oh, I saw that episode.
Sean Brock.
I like that episode.
And they stop at a Waffle House, and it's one of the best things you'll watch. It's awesome when they're because they're pretty drunk. You can tell they've been drinking, and they're just talking about the foods from a Waffle House, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's classic TV.
People love Waffle House. I've never been that impressed, but
I love it.
it's fine.
I wanted to put it on our fast food list, but it's got waiters and waitresses, so you can't do that.
You're number 7.
My number 7, you've already spoke about it, but omelets. I love a good
Omelette.
Yeah, sure.
That's how they say in Italy.
It's French. It's a French thing.
I mean France.
Okay.
They're right next to each other.
Yeah, that's true. I love like a good just ham and cheese or bacon and cheese, but I also love spinach, ham, green onion, or not green onion, green pepper. And that's it. Yeah. Ham, green pepper, cheese, and I'm good. I'll be good all day long. I don't like it super wet.
Get those green peppers out of there.
But I don't.
But I don't like it.
Oh no, I like a good green pepper or red pepper. Throw some red pepper in there. A red bell. I love all of them. Any kind of cheese. I honestly love putting a little Parmesan on an omelet.
Yeah, that'll work.
Parmesan on top of an omelet and get it a little
Here's
crispy.
the thing about omelets that people don't understand. You need a strongly flavored cheese. That's why I like a feta or something like that, or Parmesan would work.
That makes sense.
You need a strongly flavored cheese because, and even I would say an American cheese or something like that is pretty strongly flavored. If you put like cheddar cheese into an omelet,
it kind of runs a little flat.
It runs a little flat.
Yeah.
I believe. And I love a really extra sharp cheddar cheese, like a white extra sharp Wisconsin cheddar. You could do that. But like your standard processed Kraft, you got to kick it up a notch. You need the flavors need to overcome the egg envelope.
Yeah. Or complement it. But you want that sharp contrast. I understand what you mean.
Yeah. But there's few things in this world I like more than the combination of spinach and feta in about anything. So that's why
I love spinach in anything. I really do.
It's one of my favorite foods.
Spinach?
I love it.
Really?
Yes, I love spinach in anything.
Yeah.
In any form. I don't know why.
I agree with you. What about a spinach dip?
For sure. I like raw spinach in a salad.
Yes.
I always like cream spinach. I like cooked spinach. I like every
You're like
of
Popeye.
Spinach. Yeah. Yeah. That's what he says.
So you're number 6.
My number 6, I'm going back down south of the border.
Are you?
Give me a good breakfast burrito.
Ooh.
Any day of the week.
I never even thought about those.
Breakfast burritos are, in my opinion...
It's never been a thing.
Oh, it's so good. Have you had a good one? Not like a McDonald's one, which are pretty good.
No, I don't think I have. I don't think I've really ever ordered them.
McDonald's picante sauce?
Very good.
Oh, my.
It is very good.
I literally could just drink it out of the packet.
Yeah, I have.
That's good. But
last night for dinner.
Casey's breakfast burrito is fine. No, go to Habanero Grill in the morning and get yourself they make a limited amount, but go in there and get yourself a real breakfast burrito from Habanero Grill. Life-changing.
Really?
That's where you want to go. That's where you want to be. Any morning that they have them,
okay.
Go there, get them. You're welcome.
How do I know when they have them?
I think
it's just like a random
they do
thing
every morning, or maybe it's only on the weekends. I don't know.
Okay.
But they'll give you like a big burrito.
Well, tomorrow's the weekend.
Yeah.
It's the freaking weekend, baby.
About to have some.
I'm about to have me burrito.
Eggs, chorizo, whatever you want in there. They'll put whatever you want in there.
So they're not like pre-made?
No, they are pre-made.
Oh, okay.
You can order them to order, but if you can just get the pre-made ones too. They're like ready to go. They're foil wrapped. They're big. They're big. That's the way you want.
How big?
As big as your
How
head.
big is big?
Son of a bitch.
I got a big head for a little guy. You know?
No, I love a breakfast burrito because I like David said, mixing peppers in with breakfast is the right move.
I think it is.
Especially with eggs. Eggs and peppers go together very well.
They do.
And I'm not talking green peppers.
It's like peas and carrots.
I'm talking like jalapeno peppers and things like that.
Yeah.
And chorizo, whatever you want to put in there is fine. You don't have to use chorizo. Some people don't like chorizo.
Chorizo's so good, though. Chorizo and eggs. You can literally just mix chorizo and eggs together.
Absolutely.
And eat that all day long.
Yeah.
The first time I ever had that was quite a few years ago now, but a guy I worked with at Dresden was Mexican, and he's the one I worked with him on shift. He brought in some chorizo. He's like, hey, I was going to make some chorizo and eggs. We were working a Sunday day shift. I was like, all right, never had that before. He's like, you haven't? I said, no. Like, do you see me? Like, I'm a hillbilly white kid. I've never had that. So he made it for me, and after I ate that, I was like, oh, I've been missing out because this is so good. So from then on, I didn't even know. I was looking at chorizo in the store, and it wasn't. I tried it, and it wasn't the same thing. So I asked him where he was getting it, and he told me about a Mexican a store he'd go to in Joliet. And I was like, oh, so like authentic type stuff. That's where I need to get that then, huh? Not like the prepackaged chorizo that is spelled wrong in the big box stores.
Correct.
Okay. So anyway, it's very good.
Breakfast burrito, classic, works great.
Nice. My number, what is this? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I have had a deep love for this for a long time. And it's because my dad has always loved like trash food because he was, single for a while and he would just eat like really cheap food. A lot of people don't like it, but I am obsessed with corned beef hash.
Oh, I love corned beef hash.
So many people have ragged on me about
loving
this.
Anything that's full of salt.
So this is, me too. Absolutely. So do I. But my favorite thing, it involves eggs. A lot of mine from here, well, there's a few more that involve eggs, but this one, I want 2 fried eggs over easy eggs, basically on top of a corned beef hash.
Yeah.
So you heat up the corned beef hash in a skillet, get it nice and hot and kind of oily and crisp it up a little bit. Put it on a plate, put your 2 fried eggs on top, and just smash it.
Yeah.
Dig your face into it, burn yourself, whatever you got to do to get it in your hole, your face hole. That's what I want to do. I want that hash on my face.
Give me that hash.
I'm going to suck your hash down. I am.
With some Heinz beans.
No, you can't add the beans to this. No, it's too vinegary.
Irishy, though.
Yeah, you're right.
You might get an Irish bean.
I mean, the vinegar might be a good
some bangers
offset.
And mash, something in there.
I'd love me a good bangers and mash. But really what I want is 2 fried eggs and corned beef hash.
I love corned beef hash. And if it comes out, I want it out of the cheapest looking can that says corned beef hash. When I lived at Farmhouse.
It comes out like dog food into a pan.
When I was in Farmhouse, we had it came in like 1 gallon containers that just said corned beef hash.
Sounds so good.
And you would just scoop it out of there with like whatever you could find.
Yeah.
And just dump it on the Skittle or whatever.
It is a mush. Somehow those little chunks of potatoes stay together though.
I don't know, but it's great. And I'm not even a potato fan. I just love the corned beef.
You're not a potato fan?
No.
You didn't say that when I was talking about my love affair with potatoes last episode.
Correct. No, I'm not.
I'm glad you didn't.
I'm not a big fan of the potato.
I would have flipped this table over. I'm about ready to right now. Who are you? You're not Irish, obviously.
I am, actually.
Or American.
That's the weird thing about it, I guess.
Well, you're certainly not American.
My number 5 is Belgium waffles.
Oh, you got them up there.
I love a good waffle, and
I
have a waffle maker. I've had it since I was 14 years old when I got it from my Christmas from my grandma.
Really?
And ever since then, I've been making waffles. I've made all kinds of waffles. I'm telling you, man, I've made chocolate peanut butter waffles.
That sounds so good.
I've made all kinds of waffles, but I like just a good classic Belgian waffle.
Oh, yeah.
With the big, thick ones.
And I've never even actually made like a waffle batter.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a pancake batter and a waffle batter? There's got to be a difference because the flavor's different.
It is. I can't remember exactly, but there's more that goes into a waffle batter because it rises more.
Right.
So you got to put more shit in there. There's eggs in there.
You got to put a baking powder in there or something?
Yeah. There's a baking powder in there.
Well, I mean, that's in pancake batter, though, too.
I don't know, man.
I'll Google it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. It's been a long time
since I've made them. I just found my old waffle iron. Weirdly enough, I just found it.
For some reason, I've been getting an ad on Facebook recently of a double-sided waffle iron.
Are they all double-sided?
No, you can make 2 at a time.
They all can make 2 at a time.
No. You pour it in one side, and you flip it just so that it browns on the one side. It's got like 2 sides to open up. So you open up one side, you pour your batter in, close it, flip it, and then can open up the other side and pour batter in, close it, and flip it. So you can take one out and then flip it again and take the other out.
That's interesting. I like the ones that you get at a hotel.
You do like
the waffle irons, the ones you spin?
Right.
Yeah. That's not the kind I have at home, though.
I thought all of them have to spin like that.
No, mine you just dump it in, close the lid, you lock it, and it cooks.
And let her eat.
Yeah. But anyway, Belgian waffles. I love them. I love some syrup. I like the big cups, the big deep cups that you can fill up with syrup.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of butter.
Golly, I'm getting so hungry.
I know.
I really am.
I want to go to. We were supposed to go to breakfast this morning. It's Friday.
I couldn't. I had an eye doctor's appointment this morning.
So. All right, your number 5.
My number 5.
Top 5.
This is top 5 now. Man, I really feel like I should have put that corned beef hash up in the top 5. But maybe not. No. So the next 2, again, involving eggs. The next one is poached eggs. So you take poached eggs. You just have a couple pieces of toast and bacon. You butter your toast. You get your bacon. Put some poached eggs on there. Call it a day.
I like it.
Love it.
Simple.
It's very, very simple, but for some reason, it's different with a fried egg. You can eat that with a fried egg.
Yeah.
But a poached egg hits different.
Eggs, man. That's the way to go. That's the right way to
be. A poached egg hits me so hard deep in my soul.
Have you ever had a King's porthole?
Whoa. Are we still talking about breakfast?
Yeah.
No, are you sure?
Or some people call it egg in a hole. Have you ever made that?
Yes, egg in a hole. That's what I've heard. I've never heard of it.
When I was a kid, my mom always called it a King's porthole.
All right.
And you cut the little piece of bread
I've never done it myself.
That little piece of buttered center
bread is probably the best piece of bread you've ever had in your life.
It's the best thing that ever existed.
Yeah, it really is.
I ate that every morning when I was a kid.
Yeah. But I'm doing poached eggs.
I know.
Without a hole in it. And you use that bread to soak up whatever comes out of your poached egg. If it's done correctly, there's going to be a lot of yolk coming out. And you've got your bacon in there too. And you just mush it all together.
Bonus if you use a gelatinized duck egg.
Nobody would do that.
Yeah, they would.
No. Why would you gelatinize a duck egg?
You
just said
I just made that word up. I just meant like if you cook it to the point where it's like just past the point of runny, but not even close to solid.
I know what you mean.
That's
how I
with a duck egg.
That's how I
hard boil them too.
Soft boil eggs, I guess it would be.
Whatever.
Because it's like almost to a gel, but still somewhat liquid.
Yep.
Like it'll run a bit. Like as soon as you cut the egg open, it may like smear, but not necessarily run.
I became obsessed with it.
It's so good.
When I went to
so
this
much better
restaurant in Chicago called Imperial Lemaine, which is a Laotian restaurant.
Okay.
And I had a soft-boiled duck egg. And I became, at that point, it was the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And
we've talked about that place before.
And I became obsessed with perfecting a hard-boiled egg. I'm just talking about chicken egg now.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time doing this.
I've done it in every way possible, and it is an obsessively worthwhile pursuit. Grab me one of those two. Custardy, David says. That's a good description, custardy. Thank you for grabbing me one.
Yeah, that's...
Just ask you to.
Oh, you did? Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. That is what it is, custardy. That's exactly what... consistency it is. I spent so much time doing it as well that I have kept the same pan in my house. I threw away all the other pans that I had of this variety. It's like a really cheap black pan that we had gotten like when Amy and I were first married. But the only reason I've kept it is because I have it down to a science. I have it down to the exact minutes to boil eggs correctly. It's the only pan I'll use to boil eggs because...
I'm the same way. I even bought an egg cooker, a hard-boiled egg cooker.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do as good of a job.
My process with this pan is I put cold water in it. I'll put the eggs in the water. I put it on the fire. As soon as the water starts boiling, it's 6 minutes from that point.
I usually do in my pan about 8 minutes.
Okay. Well, mine's probably 8 minutes total, but as soon as I start seeing a bubble,
no, that's what I mean.
6 minutes.
That's what I mean when I shut it off.
Yeah.
I shut it off
After it boils?
after it boils.
No, I'll leave it go. I have to leave it go in this pan.
Okay. Actually, okay. No.
I let
it boil. As soon as it boils, I shut it off and let it sit with the lid on for 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, and I leave it boil for 6 minutes, but when I take them out, I put them immediately into ice water.
Yeah, me too.
And then they always come out perfect.
Yeah. Or you can go 8 minutes if you want them to be custardy.
No, if I went 8 minutes in my pan, they'd be a little too done, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking, I don't know. Why
Poached eggs. Oh, yeah. Sous vide makes perfect custardy eggs. I bet you it does.
I want to buy a sous vide so bad.
I want one. Dude's got one.
Does he really?
Yeah. What did he make the other day in there? By the other day, I mean like 2 years ago.
Okay.
He sous vide some duck breast.
Oh, my God.
It was incredible. It was like right on the rare side.
Oh, yeah.
It's really good.
It's like perfection in a sous vide, and then you can immediately bring it out, hard sear things, and then it's done.
Yeah, that's what he did. He cooked it so it was just warm, basically pink.
Takes hours.
And then he crusted it really fast.
Yeah.
On a really hot skillet, and it was really good.
Man, that seems so experienced for dude.
He's a good cook.
I don't doubt he's a good cook. I'm just saying, like, most people don't have a sous vide, you know, and it just surprises me that he does.
Yeah.
I want one so bad. You can buy them relatively cheap on Amazon.
Not expensive at all.
Like $100, you can get a pretty decent one. It's just the big, but you only get the stem. You got to get a big tub.
Yeah.
Along with it. That's where they get you. You're number 5.
4. My number 4 is
6. No, I just did my 6.
I'm sorry, I already did 5. It was Belgian waffles. And you did your 5. It was poached eggs on
No,
toast.
That's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that was my 5.
My number 4 is
French toast.
I love French toast.
I do too.
Big fan. I like French toast. I love like all forms of it. I like the little thin toast.
Yes.
I like the thick toast. I like it when it's flavored French toast. I like it all. I love French toast. I love a Monte Cristo. Give me a Monte Cristo.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
French toast with a sandwich inside.
I know. And it's so good.
With syrup on it. It's great.
I would take that.
So French toast is very versatile. It's overlooked.
I do think it's overlooked, and it's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's always been by far when you're talking about like a bread type breakfast food, French toast is where it's at.
And French toast can be fancy.
Absolutely.
It can be very fancy. You can make a brioche French toast.
Yeah, a lot of places try to fancy it up.
My sister makes all kinds of fancy French toast. She has brunches all the time, like at holidays. And we go over there. Becky.
Oh, Becky does? Oh,
she's a very, very, very good cook.
Is she really?
Unbelievable cook.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we'll have like a brunch on like Christmas over at her place, and she'll make like 4 different kinds of gourmet French toasts.
Wow.
It's great. With all different types. She'll make like a regular ones, like ones with French bread, ones with like brioche bread, all different kinds of things. It's great. French toast.
Well, I have to be invited.
Monte Cristos also. I mean, it's not really French toast. I wouldn't put it on top of my list. They're okay.
Yeah.
But I like the use of French toast. Not always French toast in Monte Cristo, though.
No, not all the time.
Depends on the restaurant.
That's very good. Okay. My next one, it's very basic, and it's similar to what I was talking about with like the poached eggs on toast. But this one is basically like a fried egg sandwich, but on an English muffin. You could call it an egg McMuffin if you want, but I make these at home all the time, and we'll put bacon or sausage, one of the two, sometimes both, cheese, like just regular slices of cheese.
Yeah. Kraft American singles.
Absolutely. Well, we get it from the cheese lady in Morris. Amy always goes to the cheese lady at the VA.
Fancy.
Or at the, not the VA, what's it called? American Legion. But it's Wisconsin type American craft singles.
Day
cheese.
old Jimmy John's bread makes great French toast. Yeah, I can guarantee that.
I bet you it does. But yeah, fried egg sandwich on a English muffin.
Love it.
It is so good.
Classic.
Every time I make it at home, I'm
now
eating
not a crumpet.
Not a crumpet. We're going to talk about that.
We will talk about it.
Yeah. Let's finish this and then we'll talk about it.
I did the crumpet thing.
Yeah. I saw a comment of yours that discussed that. But yeah, I make these all the time at home, and I've always sat there every single time. Amy gets so sick of me because I say the same shit over and over again to her, and I'm assuming it gets annoying. But I'll sit across from her at the table, and I'll be eating this thing, so in love with it because I love it. It's salty and rich and good. And I'll look at her, I'll be like, this is so good. And I'll say, why do we ever buy these from places when you can make it this good at home?
It's like, much better to make it at home.
And I always say, like, I love the McDonald's one. I love any of them you can get anywhere.
I love McDonald's ones too and stuff like that.
And they're good in a pinch.
But if you go to a real restaurant and get we'll talk about it later.
Okay. It's just so good. And I get, like, I physically feel so happy while I eat these things. I'm not joking to you. It changes my whole mood when I eat this food. That sandwich is my fourth favorite.
My number 3 is extremely simple, yet complex. I just love bagels.
Did you say a bagel?
Bagel.
Okay.
Bagels.
Yeah.
Bagels. That's it. Bagels.
I didn't even put them on here, but I eat them all the time.
With cream cheese.
Oh, yeah.
With peanut butter.
Lox.
Usually I make cream cheese on one, peanut butter on the other. Sometimes I'll put a smoked salmon on there. That works.
I've never done that ever in my life.
Oh, it's great. So versatile. So many different kinds of bagels to choose from. I like an everything bagel sometimes.
So many.
An onion bagel. A cinnamon raisin bagel. Whatever.
Yeah.
Give it to me. All of it. And
blueberry bagel.
So much cream chease that it's disgusting.
You got to have a thick schmear.
Listen. When I go
gotta have a real, I want that thick schmear, boy. Yeah. Give me that thick schmear.
Give me that schmear.
Schmear.
No, when I go to like Brewed Awakening or somewhere, and you order a bagel, you ask for cream cheese. And they give you like a packet of cream cheese. No, I put 2 of the big packets of cream cheese on one side of the bagel.
yeah, exactly.
And then I want 2 more for the other side. Yeah. I want 2,000 calories of cream cheese.
Cream cheese,
all right,
per side.
Yeah, and then give me another bagel with peanut butter.
Yeah,
and I'll alternate. Anyway, I love bagels. They're one of my favorites all time. That's why they're number 3.
I really do love them
and
as well.
And different flavored cream cheeses too. We didn't even talk about that.
Oh, I know.
I don't like the fruit flavored ones as much, but
you don't
I
like strawberry,
chive, and the chive ones, or the onion ones, or whatever.
Have you ever had honey?
Honey cream cheese?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I haven't.
Well, you're missing out, my friend.
Son of a
bitch. There's also a brown sugar, and it's like I think it's cinnamon brown sugar because it's like the cinnamon butter at Texas Roadhouse. You know, it's similar to that, but in a cream cheese form.
Really?
Oh, yeah. My brother-in-law brought it over. Katie's husband, my sister's husband, he had brought it over once, and I was eating it, and it changed my life.
Kevin said, I'm sending you smoked salmon for Christmas, Jerry.
I want to try it.
You've never had smoked salmon?
I've never had it on a bagel.
Oh, bagel and cream cheese with smoked salmon on it. Yeah, that's what Lox is, right?
Yes, but I've never.
Pretty common, Jerry.
I've never eaten it. I'm sorry.
And David says whipped cream cheese is game changer. Whipped cream cheese.
You know, we've had the whipped cream cheese a lot.
I don't like it as much as the hard cheese.
No,
the Philadelphia cream cheese in a bar.
I know, but they also make a cream cheese spread. It is the in-between between the whipped and the bar.
Maybe that's what
And
I've had.
I've been buying the spread recently because it's still like a thicker cream cheese,
Yeah.
but easier to spread.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's
No, I know what you mean. We get that sometimes too.
That's what I've been buying lately. I was a big fan of the whipped, but now that I went to the spread, it's better.
Okay. That's my number 3. Your number 3, Gerald.
My number 3 is French toast.
French toast. We must share the Eiffel Tower.
Is that what he says?
Yeah.
I don't know what he says. I also put in here, besides French toast, is a stuffed French toast. Have you ever had a stuffed?
Yeah.
You didn't comment on it. I was hoping you didn't, because I used to get a stuffed French toast. They had it at the Morris Pancake House for a little
I
while.
think they still do.
I haven't seen it recently, but I haven't been there in a while. But they'll stuff it with a cream cheese filling. They'll stuff it with a fruit filling, multiple different fruit fillings. And then they stuffed it with a custard. And all of those things I loved. I wasn't a big fan of the strawberry filling, but I would get the apple, like cinnamon apple stuffed one, the cream cheese one, and then they had a custard stuffed one. And that reminded me of like a donut, you know, like the Bavarian cream donuts.
Oh, I love those. I like Bavarian cream.
It's my favorite.
I actually like the pudding, though. The vanilla
Isn't that
pudding.
what it is?
No, Bavarian cream is like lighter, isn't it?
Oh, no, I don't want that one then. Whatever the Boston cream. Boston cream is the fluffy one. Bavarian cream is the pudding.
Yes.
Or custard.
That's correct.
It's a custard.
Boston cream is what I've ordered when I thought I was getting Bavarian cream.
Yes,
then
and you
it's
were
basically
wrong
like
every
sugary
time.
whipped cream, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, and it's bad, and you don't want it.
Oh, get it out of here.
Yeah. I want a custardy filling. And they've done that with French toast before. And again, it's like an orgasmic experience.
I like it.
That's my number 3.
Hey, well, before I get to my number 2, I forgot to mention, I was writing down places that I think had excellent versions of a lot of these things.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention a couple.
Okay.
On the French toast and the waffles. Now, not a Belgian waffle,
Okay.
but
That's fine.
still a good waffle. If you go to Crispy Waffle in Shorewood, you'll be very happy. But specifically on the waffles, if you ever find yourself in Disney World, in the Magic Kingdom,
All right.
there's not a lot of, there's some good places to eat. There's a lot of sit-down restaurants that are very good.
Okay.
But like quick service meals, a lot of them are very fast foody.
Sure.
A couple of them
Theme
are good.
parky.
A couple of them are good, and I can recommend like the Columbia Harbor Inn, which has like lobster rolls, which is mediocre, but it also has like fried fish. It's pretty good. There's a little place called the Sleepy Hollow. I think it's called Sleepy Hollow, and it's in Liberty Square. And they make chicken and waffles.
No.
And waffle sandwiches. So they'll have like a fresh fruit waffle sandwich served with chocolate. What do you call that? With the hazelnuts.
Like Nutella.
So like a stuffed waffle sandwich stuffed with fresh fruit and Nutella.
That sounds pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then they make another one with like chicken that's more savory.
Ooh, I would like that too.
Like chicken strips and syrup, basically.
Yeah, it's like a walking
Yeah,
chicken and waffles.
pretty much. Yeah, it's a waffle sandwich.
This is making me sweat. Makes me sweat in my pants.
Okay,
You're number 2.
Number 2. Listen, man.
Your number 2. This is
Bacon.
getting serious.
Egg and cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, you can put it on a bagel, which I frequently do.
Yeah.
You can put it on an English muffin,
You can.
which I
and
frequently
that's
do.
the better.
You can put it
That's
on
the more proper way to do it.
croissant,
A croissant.
which I love as well.
I do love a croissant.
Listen, you can put it on white bread, which I frequently make at home.
I do too.
Toast.
But you got to toast it.
Toast, yeah, of course. But I frequently make them. I make bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches at our house for breakfast
I do it a lot.
or dinner constantly. We probably
Yeah.
at least once a week.
Agreed.
Lots of times for dinner.
There was a time where Grady was only eating, we just called it eggs on toast because he would have it like open faced. You know, it wouldn't be like a sandwich. So he'd have it open faced, like one piece of toast, eggs, some slices of bacon, and cheese on it too. And there was one Saturday morning out of nowhere. This was like 2 years ago. So he would have been 4, maybe 5. No, wait, how old is he? He's 8. So he would have been like 6. Yeah, he would have been like 6. He ate 5 of those in one Saturday morning. I just kept making them, and he kept eating all of it. I was like, you need to stop now. Like, you're on your 5th one. I think we're done because you're way too small to be doing this. But he just kept wolfing them all down, and he's loved it forever. Now all of a sudden he's on a spree where he doesn't like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Well, you're dumb, kid. Grady, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Stop doing this and eat it again because it's the greatest thing in the world.
So if I'm making a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich for breakfast, it's usually going to be on toast. If I make it for dinner, it's usually going to be on a waffle. Or on a waffle. That would be good. But no, it's usually going to be on a bagel.
Okay.
And so I do pretty particular. You get your fried egg. So you got your toasted bagel. And you do a fried egg. You do your bacon. You do another fried egg. You do American cheese.
Uh-huh.
Mayo.
Oh, you mayo it.
I mayo all of them.
I don't mayo them. I always butter them.
But I butter too.
I've never mayoed them.
Yeah, you got to put mayo on. Or Miracle Whip, either one.
No, you can't do the Miracle. It won't be the same with Miracle Whip.
Either way, and you want the egg you want it like over medium.
You do, because if it's too runny, it gets a little sloppy.
Over medium. And people always give me shit sometimes if I'm at a restaurant and I order over medium. But maybe I want it over medium. Sometimes I want it over easy.
Right, yeah.
But if you're getting a sandwich, you want it over medium.
You do, because with the sandwich, if you get it over easy, it's just too sloppy.
Yes. And
it runs all over, and you lose a lot of that yolk. So if we were ranking this, though, for your rankings, what would you rank for the sandwich, like over for your favorite, between bread, bagel, English muffin?
English muffin's up there, but I'm probably going to go bagel. I think it's a good vehicle for it.
I would have been that way at one point too. When I was a kid, my mom made me, before basketball practice, she would make me a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel every single morning, and I'd take it. We'd have basketball practice in the morning, and I'd eat it up in that one room up above the stage. You remember that room?
Yeah.
In the grade school. So it's where like student council used to meet. But anyway, I used to be bagel, like, it had to be on a bagel. But now I would say it would be English muffin, bagel, toast.
Yeah. I love an English muffin too. All the above. Croissants as well. I love a croissant. But a croissant, you're doing a ham and cheese.
Yeah. You're doing it different on a croissant.
Yeah. Ham and cheese croissant is kind of the go-to there. I don't even know that you really need an egg on it. That's kind of a different thing.
You do need an egg on it.
You can eat a ham and cheese croissant for lunch.
Well, yeah, absolutely, if you're doing a lunch sandwich. But we're talking about breakfast here.
Kevin says, all depends on how runny your egg is. It's true.
You're exactly right.
An English muffin, you could have a runnier egg. Because it's got nooks and crannies.
You can have a runnier egg.
On a bagel, you don't want a runny egg.
The problem is that when the yolk is in the center, and you take a bite out of it, it's still running out either way. It's not going to hit the crannies and the nooks.
Listen, this is like the perfect combination, perfect combination breakfast meal is the breakfast sandwich, the bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich. And I want to taint it with sausage. Breakfast sandwich with bacon.
With bacon. But, people love sausage
too, but it's not the same thing as a bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich.
No, you're right. It's not. But some people would say that, bacon isn't the same thing. But for my list or your list, no, you got to have the bacon. I would even go ham before sausage.
Stop it. Oh, before sausage?
Yeah.
No.
I would.
All right, let's go to your number 2.
My number 2 is...
I'm excited to tell you my number 1, which you already know what my number 1 is probably.
I don't think I do, but my number 1 might be this exact same thing as yours.
Not.
No?
No.
Oh. Biscuits and gravy
is my
number 2 because I am so obsessed with biscuits and gravy. I literally, before I started the whole keto diet again, but now I'm off of it because of Thanksgiving and it destroyed my life. I'm so obsessed with biscuits and gravy. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care what it tastes like even. I just need it. And I get it from Casey's as much as I can.
Yeah.
I will stop. I drop Graham. My whole ritual for a while was I would drop my youngest son off at daycare, which is literally right next to the Casey's, drop him off, and then I do a little U-turn basically into the Casey's parking lot, and I go in there, and I'll get myself some Casey's biscuits and gravy and eat them every Friday morning.
See, I don't think Casey's has the best biscuits and gravy.
Well, it's not the best by any
Subway's
means.
better.
I refuse to go in that.
Me
building.
too. But I'm going to tell you that Subway's biscuits and gravy is better than Casey's.
The problem is right now is that the Subway's been closed for a few weeks.
Oh, has it? I don't know. I don't go there ever.
I know. I just found out because Amy was going to stop at Subway for the boys to get them just some sandwiches. They love Subway sandwiches, but it's been closed for a few weeks because of COVID. Like a couple employees had COVID, so they shut it down.
We've a lot of activity here. Matt Fields likes sausage and biscuits.
You know, I'm not a big biscuit guy, like for a sandwich.
Yeah, they're crumbly, but listen.
If you get that type of biscuit, like I would eat.
I'm going to tell you what. I've never been a big fan of biscuits in general, outside of biscuits and gravy.
No, I love like regular biscuits and with butter and honey.
Yes, me too.
Butter and honey.
But I've never been a general fan. And then I started getting the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit at McDonald's.
I know.
And it literally changed everything.
It changed the world.
It's so good. Anyway, and then Lisa Pfeiffer said, everything bagel seasoning makes everything amazing. I'm getting that. I'd never even heard of it.
Oh, we've been doing it for a while.
No.
Amy and I ordered some on Amazon, big old thing, and we've been putting everything bagel seasoning on a lot of stuff.
No shit?
Oh, yeah.
I love
It's
everything
so good.
bagels, man. That's delicious.
It really is so good.
All right. My number
Moist,
one.
buttery biscuits are my fave, Matthew Field says. And I do agree with you. A regular biscuit itself on its own is very good. The problem is on a sandwich, a breakfast sandwich, it usually gets crumbly and dry. If I'm doing it at home, I'm going to lather that biscuit in some butter. I'm going to lather that biscuit in some honey. I'm going to lather that biscuit in some juice.
Yeah.
Before I make the sandwich.
When I'm eating biscuits at home,
They don't do that.
usually it's buttered honey. It's like a dessert, right?
Gosh, it's so good. It is so good.
Moist. Have you ever seen they have everything bagel seasoning at Aldi's, but Hartford never shop there. I mean, I don't shop at subpar grocery stores, so sorry. My wife might go there, but I won't be caught.
They probably upcharge it an extra.
They probably
$3.50.
call it organic everything.
Right. Organic everything seasoning.
Yeah. Because they hate farmers at Aldi's.
Right. They hate you, David.
They hate people named David Seatentop as their enemy.
Yeah. They're like,
They're
if
trying to
there is a
actively-
David Seatentop in the community that farms, we despise you.
Right. Speaking of moist buttery biscuits, have you ever seen the video of the old couple of actors trying to say like fluffy buttery biscuits?
Yes, I have. And the guy can't say it, no matter what. He cannot. And he'll like do a dry run and say it
And
just
then
fine.
she starts screwing up after she gets fed up with him. She starts screwing up. I love it.
It is really good.
Is it moist though? It's fluffy, buttery something. Biscuits, right?
Yeah, it is. I don't remember exactly what it was.
And he's
It's
got like
something
kind
similar.
of a speech impediment, like not a lisp, but like he's like a fluffy, buttery biscuit, like that kind of a
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Andy's old.
Yeah. My number one, Jerry. This is it. This is what we've been
This
waiting for.
This is where the cookies crumble.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
This
All
is
right.
where the biscuit is buttered.
This is something that I am obsessed with, and it's the only, if you've ever gone to breakfast with me,
I
it's
have.
generally what I order almost 100% of the time.
Okay.
Eggs Benedict.
Yes.
I absolutely love it.
I thought so.
I love it in all different types of restaurants. I like it can be super basic or it can be extremely gourmet.
Well,
Depending on where you
let's
go.
not bury the lead here. My number one is also eggs Benedict.
Is it really?
Yes.
I didn't know
knew
that.
it was going to be the case.
I didn't know that you liked it that much.
It is the number one greatest food that's ever been created.
I love it. And
It's all because of hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise sauce is the sauce of life.
Yes,
it is what's created me as a man. It has literally built cities.
Yeah.
It is
And Benedict's.
unbelievable. What's that one Benedict guy that is
Benedict
famous?
Cumberbatch.
His sauce. The sauce that comes from him.
No, it's hollandaise sauce.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, where did
Holland.
is it a Holland sauce?
It's
a Holland.
It's Dutch, right? No, it's Danish, right?
It's a Denmarkian sauce.
Yeah.
That
We determined. We said that Holland was from the Netherlands, which is the Dutch. But David Seedentop told us that we were wrong.
right. And, yeah, somebody told us.
Anyway,
we were wrong.
beside the point. Eggs Benedict is my favorite. I've had it everywhere. It's what I always order.
Yes.
You can go get it at Morris Pancake House, and it's serviceable. Or any
My
Greek
problem.
diner.
Here's my problem with most restaurants when you ordered an Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, it's bullshit hollandaise sauce that comes out of a jug.
Okay, that, but also no place you go to has a really good poached egg.
That's a problem.
Most
you gotta have
places,
a good poached egg.
their egg isn't poached correctly, and it's either overdone or watery. And as soon as I've cut into a watery poached egg, it ruins it. A drier egg doesn't ruin it.
All right, we got questions here. Matt Field says, I've never had Eggs Benedict. Please tell me why this tickles your palate. All right, let me explain this dish to you, Eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
It
Get
starts
into
with
it.
the
Get into
base,
it.
an English muffin.
Yes.
All right, starts with an English muffin on the bottom. Boom. So you got the nooks and crannies. You got the delicious crust. You got everything about it. On top of that, you got poached, or is the ham on top of that, or is the eggs on top of that? Canadian bacon.
Yeah, it's Canadian bacon usually, yeah.
So you get Canadian bacon or ham, depending on where you go, or some other type of meat, which I'll talk about later.
Yeah, I'll tell you my version.
So you'll get some kind of a protein, some kind of a meat.
Yes.
On top of that, usually Canadian bacon.
Yes.
In the United States. On top of that, you will get poached eggs. All right, a poached egg, and then on top of that, you get a hollandaise sauce, which is basically a butter sauce.
Yeah,
it's
so
a buttercream sauce.
You can take four egg yolks, just the yolks, and then you'll get a half a cup of butter. So like one stick of butter. So you take the yolks. This is exactly how you make it. You take the yolks and you start whipping them with a whisk over top of a double boiler. So you have it over boiling water and you're whisking these eggs. You add lemon juice, some lemon juice to those eggs, and you're whipping it up, and you will see a color change in your eggs. It gets like, instead of like a richer orangey color, it turns into a more opaque yellow color, right? A lighter yellow, kind of like a yellow paper right there. Once you see that change, that's when you start adding your butter. Really slow, melted butter, you start adding it super slow while whisking the entire time. And a lot of people will add cayenne, salt, pepper, whatever you want to add to it. And you just whisk it until it gets really thick. It'll get much thicker. It'll like double in size, basically by adding that butter while you're whisking it over a double boiler. You don't want to get it too hot because you'll end up scrambling your eggs, and you don't want to do that. So you just bring it up to a certain temperature to cook the eggs enough and make this thick, like luscious sauce that I will drink. I would drink it. It will kill me. But that's what I want to do with my life.
All right, so a lot of activity here. First of all, Lisa says hollandaise sauce is from Normandy, France. Okay, I believe it.
I didn't know that.
Matt said something about Urban Dictionary. I haven't clicked on it yet. Hold on. Okay, so Kevin brings up something really important, and that's where I'm going with this. So does David. David said fried soft shell crab Benedict. Kevin said crab and shrimp cake with some asparagus is awesome to me. All right, that's why I'm getting specific with my Benedict here. My Benny, if you will. I love a crab cakes Benedict. And this is common on the West Coast.
Crazy.
Or like in the Baltimore area. Anywhere there's a lot of seafood.
Yeah.
But I've had it a lot like in Portland, Oregon.
Do they do it with lobster at all?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for sure. But
that sounds like
my favorite is crab cakes Benedict. So you get a crab cake
on
there. Basically instead of the Canadian bacon.
Wait, I would assume it was instead of the English muffin.
No, you stick with the English muffin, man.
That blows my mind then.
But I've also had fried soft shell crab Benedict. It's also very good. Soft shell crab fried
Is very good.
very good. Yeah. That is a good way to go. I've never had shrimp cake, but I have crab cake. Crab cakes Benedict would be my number one overall, top of the list. Crab cakes Benedict is what my real choice is here, because I'm not a huge ham or Canadian bacon fan. It's fine, but what I want is crab cakes on my Benny.
Okay. I've never had it.
And
I've never had it with a
asparagus
crab
is
cake.
delightful
Oh,
with hollandaise
my
sauce
gosh.
because it's perfect.
It is perfect.
So that's a good one too.
Yes.
And if you go, I also like it's called Eggs Benedict Florentine. So you get spinach in there generally, and mushroom,
which is
some
very
kind
good.
of a mushroom sauce too with the hollandaise. But
what I've done a lot is instead of Canadian bacon or regular ham, I use prosciutto.
that works too.
I buy prosciutto and I will layer that on the bottom, and it's just such a richer meat. I don't know. It's just it's salty, but
Once
it's
again,
like such a better quality type ham, or
it's just a higher quality Canadian bacon, really.
it is. It's a higher quality ham. I mean, it really is. That's all it is. And it's just so good with it. I've been obsessed with it for years, and the problem is like I don't go out seeking different things because I'm so in love with this one thing that I just continuously eat it. But I really like the idea of a crab cake or a lobster cake.
Yeah, Kevin says crab cake Benedict every weekend at Lost Dog on Folly Beach, USA. I'm going to tell you, anytime that I've been on the East Coast or the West Coast, every hotel that I've been in, every time I've gone to breakfast, I get crab cakes Benedict. I will get it ordered to my room in room service. I don't even give a shit how much it costs.
You're like, I meet them at the door and I eat it directly at the door and make them take the plate.
There's something
I make
about
them wait for me to finish.
the saltiness of a crab cake, in there. You need strong flavors with hollandaise sauce, right? So it's a really creamy, buttery sauce.
Right. It's very rich. So you got to offset that with other things.
And poached eggs can tend to be neutral, kind of, but not in like
a poached egg is very neutral.
It's
it's an
neutral,
egg,
but
it's
it
very
takes
eggy.
a lot to overcome that, right?
Yeah.
So you need a salty meat. That's why prosciutto, that's why Canadian bacon, crab cakes generally tend to be pretty salty. So you need stuff that has strong flavor.
And I like the prosciutto just because it's like a delicate meat compared to what a hard ham or
That's
bacon
the problem
or like
with
a
ham
Canadian
and
bacon
Canadian
is.
bacon is it's too hard.
It's too chewy.
Yes.
And then when you have these thin slices of prosciutto, to me, and it's very soft. It's like a soft ham or like a soft meat with a soft egg and that delicate sauce and then your crispier English muffin. It's just the ultimate.
Yeah.
It is the ultimate.
That's my standard order everywhere I go. If I go to Morris Pancake House, and listen, their Eggs Benedict aren't great. It's not great. It's store-bought out of a bottle hollandaise sauce, but I still get it.
They aren't. I'm overcritical, and I will criticize
I love
it.
Morris Pancake House. I'm going to tell you what, it's my favorite breakfast place in Morris, Illinois.
Every time I order it, I criticize it, and Amy gets aggravated and says, like, why did you order this then? Like, because it's Egg Benedict,
There's
and it's
nothing
still
else.
better than everything else.
Yeah.
Like, I still love this better than everything else.
Most times when I'm at a Greek diner like that, I'll order Florentine Eggs Benedict because the spinach overcomes
Yeah.
and it helps with some of the lackingness of the rest of the dish.
Right.
Because I love spinach so much.
I know. And I do get overcritical of the sauce and the egg more than anything else. Yeah. But every once in a while, you stumble across a really good one, though. Like at a random stop somewhere at like this hole-in-the-wall diner, and you are there for breakfast on a road trip, and you order an Eggs Benedict, and they give you something that is just out of this world, and you ruin your shorts.
Yeah. So with that, I think that's kind of the end. But there was a couple places I wanted to mention because like I said, I do breakfast a lot. Mm-hmm. If you're local, Morris Pancake House is the best around.
Yeah.
Crispy waffle in Shorewood is great.
I need to go there.
Teardrop in Minooka is pretty good. There's a place that is above.
Okay. All right.
And there's a lot of places that are above in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
But this is one place that's in Chicago that is worth, if you're in Chicago, it's worth going to. It's called Heaven on 7. I think they have another couple maybe in the suburbs. Heaven on 7 is a Cajun restaurant.
Okay.
They have gumbo, that kind of thing. But they do a mean breakfast.
I went there. Me and Seton Top and Tim McDonald.
For breakfast?
No, we went there for dinner.
Oh, okay.
And it was phenomenal.
Yeah, well, go there for breakfast after you're hungover from partying all night in Chicago.
Well, yeah, we went there.
It's great.
It was for Amy's birthday, I believe.
They have a Cajun breakfast that is out of this world. Everything you could ever want. It's amazing. And a Bloody Mary's to go with it.
Yeah.
If you're into that, or if you're not, there you have all kinds of
I remember they did have breakfast there, but we were
lots of hot and spicy stuff. Heaven on 7 for breakfast is Heaven on 7. I think there's one in downtown Naperville as well now. I knew
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was great.
But yeah, and Habanero Grill, of course, if you want an amazing breakfast burrito.
The burrito.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've reached our time. So that was our top 10 breakfast foods. We have a winner for the Snarf Talk coloring contest, Mr. Alex Jenkins. Thank you for playing. We have a top 4 that are going to get some sort of prize. We'll figure that out. They'll get something 4 through 1.
Yeah. And thank you to all you guys listening and participating. This is our most participated in.
Interactive.
36 comments. It's pretty good.
Oh, no, there's more than that. Actually, there is, let me tell you right now, 66.
Oh, I didn't even check. Rachel Maxey is on YouTube. Please check your Facebook account. I sent my picture. I think she didn't make the cut.
I know. We already recorded the episode.
Well, we'll check it out, Rachel, and if we think we made a wrong decision, we'll also send you something.
Yeah.
How about that?
I agree with that.
I mean, Alex is getting his because he made it before the deadline. He played by the rules.
Yep.
Rachel, I'm sorry you missed the deadline, but if it just blows it out of the water,
right? If you can color better than anybody I've ever seen in my life,
we'll throw you a little something too.
You're gonna get something.
You're
gonna get something.
It might be some Heinz beans.
Yeah, you're gonna get them beans.
And maybe an Eggs Benedict.
Oh yeah, I'll send you an Eggs Benedict in the mail.
Yeah. All right, guys. For Snarf Talk this week,